Fergie, good night. I'm out drop on me. Oh man. Get it. Get it. And when I sweet, you must make that I see. Hmm? Then one they're nice. But say, Fergie, I'm gonna put up one it's something with Andrew. And I say, the labor right there gang me TikTok. A lot of stuff to the brother. We can out a news to the boy. Can out a news to the master. Let me get in a TikTok, you know, I see. Where them plan for me over there for tonight. Let me know say over there plan for me. You know the plan for
Yeah,
restrict you.
people, me have 2 car on sale.
Sweet peas, good night. Miss say Fergie, Dwayne, sweet peas. Andrew, we're talking about tonight, so I'm gonna put up in picture. See, I gotta see them run come over here like crazy tonight. Hmm? They gonna come over here like crazy stuff tonight, boy. Hold on, man. Let me fix this. My comment, guys. A whole heap of things going to there, Jamaica. I don't want them something in it. I can't take one them with something in this. Alright, now I just put up this. I try to make wrong look right. Eh? Trying to make wrong look right. I say charger didn't give me nothing but trouble. Alright now. Donna, good night. Where's the naughty? No, sir. Murder power. I come to them, me eat two of my guinea pig. Then sweet and now. Me eat two of them. Oh, then juicy too. Me look out for them now. Not Fergie. You have to come over TikTok tonight. You have to come help me out. Because them are going to come over like wildfire. You have to just step and stand by for me. So when the labor right then come tonight, because I know so them a come out in them. Them a come out in them numbers tonight. Pauline Dawkins, good night. But before we start, I'm going to say this before I go any further. Paul Buchanan, you are a hero. You are a hero. You are a hero. Paul Buchanan, you are a hero. No man, then set up a team. Let me tell you where labor right then though. They set up a set of people for troll people on social media. So you see as me put up a board where the Dina put out say the court dismissed and just something on TikTok. And right now it's supposed to get nearly 20k views since morning. And I block them. Every time I go and see them, because they swarm me, man. I just a black. Well, they have only account, so I just block them, then come back. Block them, then come back. Tell me so they start to cool down in the evening. Because we're determined. We don't have our own view for phone a party, but we don't expect other people to talk for them party. One is a hypocrite. And you keep me will come on my platform and come. You ever see me on your platform and comment? Don't come on my platform, come comment. You're lucky, I was going to block you, but I just say make I leave you. And it's such a hypocrite. And it's such a hypocrite. And it's such a hypocrite. And you can't go report me tonight say me nude. Like one of the last night. And it's such a evil. But one of meant for evil, God turn it around for my good. Last night, I make $3. Fergie, I make $3 when them blocked me last night. One man come and give me 1 heap of rose. Yeah, I'm going to play it. Let me play what the lawyer says. When I stop with and come on social media, I could have tried to be a wrong one for not try it. I'm afraid of it, you know. And I can go and go report it, do all on that. I say when I do me evil, God bless me. When I do evil, God bless me. Last night when I reported, tell them say how much me nude on the platform. And I first me make $3. And you may say, so what is $3? Well, you know, I go, enough.
If English is your second language, this video is going to change how you work. I need a raise. I'd like to talk about.
Welcome again. Listen to this.
But Mr. Buchanan's rights are not yet determined in terms of issues raised by the court. The court shut him out on the basis that time was against him. So to get around what they're saying, with the final constitutional motion of section 30 of the charter,
Can't look good.
which mandates
And a little midget them on social media and if you say it don't look good. It don't look good.
and those rights are not yet determined. In the event of the constitutional motion being prepared, we will ask in the court to direct of election.
No, you're not allowing no news for them, Fergie.
To be illegal null and void. No
Listen
effect.
to this.
And so we will achieve the same thing that we're trying to achieve by the constitution today. And this is preparing the way, in my view, if we have to go to the ultimate step, we will go through. So what we think that in light of the concession by Mr. White yesterday, that the breaches that were highlighted by me and the findings, and even the court today said that Mr. Buchanan presented evidence of serious breaches. So in light of those concessions, it is my perspective that it's a proper case to go under the Constitution to have the election. So
Good night, Declan.
Let me just add. I hear Council White was saying in his view. That's an important point. The law exists in the gray area between the black and white. That is clear. And that is why there are levels of courts. That is why when you get a decision, it can be reviewed and it can be appealed and you can go higher and higher.
That's correct.
Come out on the platform.
The court makes a decision that is reviewed.
Winston, not already. Get off here.
Unlawful.
Now the black
Your
is.
decision, though you may disagree with the decision. I disagree with the decision of this court, though I understand it. And what I'm glad about is the fact that the doors of justice, the doors to justice are not shut merely because you disagree with a court's decision.
Yes.
And when we go and sit and review, we may come to the same view as Mr. Wildman or not, but either way, an attorney can pursue, or litigant can pursue justice further.
Yes.
My understanding of the judgment today, and I didn't even hear all of it, but from what I've heard, and I realize it's following the same trend from the judgment delivered by Justice Whitfield, is that though this litigant
Good
did
night,
everything
Jean.
correct, did nothing wrong, acting within time,
Yeah.
going to the constitutional authority, there's another route, and that is to go
Yes,
to the election
Fergie.
court with a petition. I feel that there should be a challenge having the constitutional authority implemented in the first place.
Yes.
Because by electing to go that route,
Yes.
which was not wrong,
Yes.
the court is now saying that you never do anything wrong, but you have now out of time to go the other route
Yes.
in that route doesn't agree.
Yes.
That I feel is a constitution, it's a conundrum created
That's
by
unnecessary.
unnecessary
Me a go on with me Guinness, me dear.
It was one route.
That's correct.
Now they create a new law.
Yeah.
Say, you elect to go with a new law.
And they're saying that it's
And they're
just
saying
going somewhere.
that, no, and now they're saying they want to send you somewhere.
So then create a new law.
There's something wrong with that. And so I find the existence of the two legislation to be in conflict. The effect of it is now
Shut
shut
you
down
out from justice.
from justice. And so the Constitution, I feel,
It is supreme law.
is the right route
To go.
explore.
Me not show off, man.
And so we can explore where that would take us.
Yes. Let me just, let me just. I don't want to down both laws, but the folks who have been with me throughout this
The man that make us so quick.
doesn't end here. The entire Jamaica was wonder about the fate of road
Hi, Tiny.
which is the representation of the people. With God, free and
See
fair
people,
electorate.
wish you were near.
If a court has agreed
Oh,
that
wish
there
you were here.
and so fine, but come
Good
to the
night, sweetheart.
conclusion, that the substantive matters cannot be addressed at the time because of that. What is there for the little what remains of the law? I think the sanctity of the law must be protected. That I will pursue this matter, this issue, this challenge to the end. Even if it means that we have to go to the criminal. That's correct. People must be held to account to this law. If this fails, what will happen in future elections?
Yeah.
This concerns all candidates. Now,
The whole election was rigged.
And all electors must be concerned.
The whole election was
But
rigged.
you have a concession even today. The court conceded that Mr. Buchanan presented serious breaches of the representation after they constituted offer. They start by saying that there are serious breaches. So if that, and that is what this case is all about. Where there are serious breaches that represented that should have been acted on by the constituted offer, and they did not. So if you deprive man of his rights, and what it also means is that
Man, a criminal man.
concession by the state that there were these serious breaches, it means that you have an elected person in Inverted Comma sitting in Parliament who is
Hi,
not
Blacker.
elected.
Good night.
And let me just add for the benefit of the people from practically. If you are saying mass men invade police station in 2026, 2025, and that is not in dispute, never challenge, never challenge. Not even people on the other side believe that it did not. If you
She
are
don't know the
saying
shame neither.
there is an agreed road, with the returning of that between both candidates, and there's a variation of that road on election night.
She don't know when to put it. Run down there at Westmoreland.
Which should have been done. And
Hi,
wasn't
Winston.
done. These are serious breaches. In fact, if one of the issues that I also doesn't like to go there,
Dominic,
but because
what are you
of the
doing?
fear that setting, a lot of the things that would have been allowed in an election code, which have
Yeah,
been
one song,
denied,
that's what I'm
you
asking.
have before the entire Jamaica. I am leading in 87 out of 105 boxes. And the internet went. Where is the culpability? What is behind all of that? The lights went. This is when they were taking my box.
Exactly,
From
they
my
take away back.
stronghold.
Dirtiness, man.
Tower Hill,
Dirtiness.
which we don't even go there on Christmas Day, much less on an election night. What was the police doing? Taking my boxes, going
The police, then we do that to should be held accountable.
Station is easy. What is the motive? None of these things have been addressed yet. They have not been challenged. They have not been addressed to the elected court. And that would have been addressed because we can use new evidence. Some breaches are here, which Rope allowed for, not addressed. The fight continues.
At the time,
Fight.
there's a breach, but because of time, there can be no remedy.
And I don't agree with that because we say that when it does not does not run against another. All right.
You hear what he says. Your ear. So your ear, all the lawyers explains it. What the court today is saying is that it need to go, what did I say again, the constitutional court. Because the constitutional court, the election court. What am I trying to tell them? So the time pass. Hi Marcia, how you doing? I still don't understand the part there now. Make a listen back this again. Yeah, all police end up with the box them. Well set, you know. Well set up. Can't continue, man.
If you're thinking about buying a grounding sheet, listen to me just for 1 second because this is going to save you hours and hours.
Welcome again. I want us to listen it careful.
Because the Buchanan's rights are not in
Good night, Carl.
in terms of issues raised by the court. The court shut him out on the basis that time was against him. So to get around what they're saying, will be filed a constitutional motion of section 13 of the charter, which mandates that the election should be free and fair, and those rights are not yet determined. In the event of the constitutional motion being prepared, we'll be asking the court to direct of elections to declare the election of Mr. Boles to be illegal, null and void, no effect, and so we will achieve the same that we're trying to by the constitutional legal.
Constitutional court, man.
In my view, if we have to go to ultimate step, we will do so. But we think that in light of the concessions by Mr. White yesterday, that the breaches that were highlighted by me and the findings, and even the court today said that Mr. Buchanan presented evidence of serious breaches. So in light of those concessions, it is my perspective that it's a proper case to go under the Constitution to have the election of Saul as the chairman.
Let me just add, I hear Coach White saying in his view, that's an important point. The law exists in the gray area between the black and white, that is clear. And that is why there are levels of courts. That is why when you get a decision, it can be reviewed, and it can be appealed, and you can go higher and higher. The fact that a court makes a decision that is reviewed later doesn't mean the court was unlawful in their decision, though you may disagree with the decision. I disagree with the decision of this court, though I understand it. And what I'm glad about is the fact that the doors of justice, the doors to justice are not shut merely because we disagree with a court's decision. And when we go and sit and review, we may come to the same view as Mr. Wildman or not, but either way, an attorney can pursue, or litigant can pursue justice further. My understanding of the judgment today, and I didn't even hear
man, they get paid, man. I see what percent, Mary. Well planned.
Trend from the judgment given by Justice Winfield.
Same thing at Western St. Mary. All dirty
Well,
criminal
the
that
system
they
did
accident
everything
in our
correct, did nothing wrong, acted within time, going to the constitutional authority. There's another route, and that is to go to the election court with a petition. I feel that there should be a challenge having the constitutional authority implemented in the first place. Because by electing to go that route, which was not wrong, the court is now saying that you never do anything wrong, but you have no out of time to go the other route if that route doesn't agree. That I feel is a constitution. It's a conundrum created by unnecessary legislation because prior to the constitutional authority, which there was one route. Now they create a new law. So you can be elected over the new law. And they're saying that no, and now they're saying they want to send you somewhere else, but time run out to send you somewhere else. There's something wrong with that. And so I find the existence of the two legislation to be in conflict. If it gives the effect of it is now shut
from justice.
From justice. And so the Constitution, I feel, is the right route to explore. And so we can explore where that will take us.
So they have to take it to the Constitutional Court. Look up pause this liquor. Go pause it liquor and say something. You know, there's a little girl, sometimes she come on my platform. I watch that case when they beat up the little girl. And she was in the university hospital. And I said it already, I said the mother trying. I see how much time the girl go at death bed. And the mother keep try, she try. And you know I learned something from that. They have to give up till the very end. When it just look like there's nothing else. Cause I have to give her credit. The little girl may not 100% now, but she makes such a dramatic change. Her voice not come back yet, but the little girl make a tremendous turnaround. And I say this to say that Mr. Buchanan knew what took place. Even before the election, it was going around that he was going to lose the seat, that even there was a suggestion that him should take Desmond Mackenzie's seat. But knowing who him is and him feels he can hijack everything. No, these are some things that the PNP will pay some serious. When I know that time I want to run down for who for lead, I tell you already, I'm going to tell you again. If you don't get to understand the plan and the trap of an opponent, it's not about who is there, you know. If Damian Crawford not say that, if Mark Golding not say that, if whoever want to run and turn the president of the People's National Party, as long as Andrew Holness dead, on not going to win. Because people are going to polling station and go vote freely. Them the days don't exist in Jamaica no more. That's the truth. Hear what the man say? There is a new rule. And since everything happened, one new rule make when it pass. Which party pass in the parliament? I when them do something that pass in a year. You come over here, you're ready for come over here about 1 p.m. You know, hear me say I want to on my platform. I'm not deaf, dumb, or what. Come off. As I not come, I saw me a black, you know. I know not come, man. When I know say, I know so not come. I know not come. I know not come, man. I don't wait for one to come. Enough more round I go come. Claudette good now. Hey, I tell you from the beginning, say them all come. I tell Freddy to come over TikTok for help me, you know. For black them, you know. We have to block them as they come. Because they come now for come report the channel like what they did last night. You have to come. Because I say none of my moderator them yet. No man, Claude, nah, they over there ready for them, so they're not going to go over there, so. Them just coming like the entertainment. So 3 man know all we going today, you know. He run gone down at Westmoreland today. From Hurricane, him not gone to Westmoreland, you know. Today run gone down at Westmoreland. Yesterday run gone up at St. Thomas, gone. Hey, that a film way. When him knows a negative a come up about him, he run up pretend like him a good. I don't know who you can fool. I don't know who you can fool no more. It's a, you know, I don't understand we don't know labor right now. But we don't 1 p.m. We don't no shame, you know. We don't shame tree dead. A date and did say no shame tree in left up at Belmont Road. Because how could you in your country see your leader name all? You think how Jamaica say this? This is the World Wide Web. every minute court case. Every minute, and not for no good reason. Huh? Who don't feel a way about it? Who don't really don't feel a way about it? Jesus, man. Come on. A whole con man, Claudette. The man display danship, you know. Audrey, good day, good night. Come on. You know, I make a video today and I was saying, you know how it feel. You know, I sort of grudge some of my Jamaican, they will have different passport. And I should have a different passport. So it may have go through anyway. They never know so I come from Jamaica. And I mean, I disrespect my country. This is my yard. But no, man. You know when people look around Paris and say, oh, you know, and I point and say, them Jamaican, I feel them prime minister every minute in a court for illicit enrichment. You can declare an asset. Oh, no shame. You're not shame. Don't worry about it. The longest liver we see the most, Kenny. Me you know must live for see who are going to win for who not win. So you can't determine that. Me you die today when I must die tomorrow. So when you come here, can contact, oh, PNP will never. Me you don't know if I live for see tomorrow. So you can't determine that. That left for who left back here. We don't know when we are dead. And you know now we don't come here for live forever. So we don't know how you can come here and determine that tonight. Me you may not live for see. Or that you must say. You better you say. So you're not sure. Oh, where Fergie there? Fergie not did if it block them off of the place where me tell you say I just see them if it block them. Me forget to another moderator. Virgin and black them none. Too much of them are come on now. Hold on. Me need some more. But what Virgin they when I black them for me? A whole heap of account they have, so them are going to keep coming back. I saw them stay. They have whole heap of different account. So as you block them, they use one other account. As you block them, they use one other account. Me study them long time, man. Good night, Fergie.
Good night, Atisha, and good night, everyone. I can't figure out how to block them. There's a ton of them. Like, what's going on tonight?
I told
There's
you.
like a ton of them on TikTok.
Don't I told you that they're going to target the channel tonight. Me tell you that.
I can't figure out how to block them. I click on their name. I'm like, okay, how?
All right, some of them strategically do it. So when you click on them name, when you click on them picture, sometimes it not go. So you have to hold it down and press and it take it. Then you have to see 3 little dot up at the top. You click on the 3 little dot and then it take you into black. But some of them you can easily block them. But some of them they're strategic with it. So you have to understand.
Ah. This is crazy.
More than crazy. And look on
There's
it.
like a ton of them.
No, but let me tell you how they set up in it's a system they have set up in a Virgin. Me tell you this thing for the election and I learn. them set up the thing with the people them. They have one base up a Reddy's Road. One man called me and tell me. So they have them and then get $3,000 for each platform where they target.
Ah.
So I pay them I get it on. I come them I can do it for no money now. Them I get paid now.
Ah.
So you see like when we put up to the board, him lose the case, then flood it on TikTok. So then tell them strategically who them for target. And me gonna tell you now, nobody when me not know, not come here can send nothing in my box, cause me not put it up in the box. Anyone me not know who wanna be, me not put it in my box. Me have to know exactly who me put in the box. So
You know
nobody
they're
come.
coming tonight.
Yeah, nobody come, cause me not put it up in the box. So
They're
type,
coming tonight. They're coming tonight.
yeah, type as much as you can type, but you not coming at the box. I'm go oh me know I coming at the box tonight. So another one there again. Him, me block him already, and he come back with a different logo.
But how are we gonna stop them? It's
We
like a
are-
ton of them.
We have to just
I keep tapping on them, trying to get rid of them.
all right. So I stubborn them. I don't want them on my platform, Winston. I
We have
don't.
to block them so they don't get paid for it.
Yeah, cause what them get paid for continue and come and for distract. Some of them come up in the box.
They're like a bunch of ants. Like you stepping on ants friggin' nets. What
Yeah.
is this?
Mr. I saw them program them. Mash it down, you mash down already. So what you have to say about the Paul Buchanan case? As a matter of fact, what you think about Paul Buchanan?
Well, Paul is old school. He's back in those old days. Paul is a fighter. You're not looking at some ordinary politician there. He's been through it. So Paul is a fighter. With the Paul case, they're jumping up. Oh, the PM won. No, the PM didn't actually win that appeal. The appeal actually left it open for Paul to pursue further. So the law is written in such a way that it's so weird that you have 14 days to petition to the election court, and okay, fine, but then the Constitutional Court has the same time period, which it probably shouldn't. The Constitutional Court should be probably more
Thank you.
than the 14 days.
Boston,
So,
Mm-hmm.
so now Paul sounds like he's going to take it to the Constitutional Court. He's going to take it back to them. That it's probably
But maybe
not
what you
constitutional.
think? What you think? Then maybe tell him say. Because what them I use against him is the timing. I know it's not that it.
Right.
I know it's not that it wrong.
It's the timing. Right.
So I go all of them were talking. No, so the court never said the man wrong. They must say at the timing. So I mean, I know if him they do it on the 15 or him do it on the 14.
Right. That I don't know. And the thing is, which is crucial, is that the attorney for the government confirmed that there were serious breaches in that election, in that constituency. So that's key right there. So it's confirmed. There were breaches, serious breaches.
Man not telling a lie. We know that breaches all over the country that they did it. All over.
So just imagine that's one constituency. That's not every constituency throughout the country. That's only one that they confirm, yes, there were breaches in the election.
When you see a Terry Long seat with 900 spoiled ballot, you don't need to ask. When you see
Right.
Central Kingston, then comes the envelope having ballot when I count the night before. You don't see what's going on in our country.
Right. But the big thing, which is more serious for the PM, is that the appellate court turned down his IC request.
None of them will carry the IC court will never win the IC.
No, you have attorneys, judges who are running the IC. They're not stupid. They know the law.
Good night, Melissa.
Right? So that's a big thing for him. I don't even think he even thought about the Paul Buchanan thing.
No.
Although,
But me see the lawyer for him come out and I say it not make no difference to in case.
it makes a difference if Paul takes it to the Constitutional Court.
No,
and
not
if Paul-
Paul, the IC.
The IC. No, it does make a difference because
That's
now
what
the
I
IC can go forward with everything. Unless he has to now find a way to make an argument to take it to the Privy Council as to why the appellate court was wrong in their judgment. So he's going to have to file that suit. Oh, and by the way, he has to now pay for the Integrity Commission's lawyers. So he has to pay those fees to the lawyers.
Well, he must pay your for money I go pay. Which one?
He has to pay. He's the one who brought it up.
Oh. Oh, yes. I am brought it up for you.
Right, he brought it up. He's the one. He's the one who's fighting the integrity. He's fighting his own government, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So he will have to pay.
The black him, man. Oh.
So what will happen is that he can then appeal the appellate court's ruling and take it to the Privy Council, but it's going to be hard. If the appellate court in Jamaica already said, this is the law of the land, you need to follow it, we cannot strike out these statements or these facts, sorry, you're going to go to the Privy Council to tell, what are you going to tell them? But I guess he can do it. He has the money, so he'll take it to the Privy Council next, I'm sure.
All right. PM lawyer say appeal court ruling doesn't affect IC case. The Prime Minister, Oldest legal team say Friday the Court of Appeal ruling does not adversely affect his case against the Integrity Commission. In a statement following the decision, the team said the appeal was primarily about its request for the Commission to hand over unreacted copies of documents it had disclosed in claim. In the meantime, one of the IC
that is so false.
Yeah.
That is so false. That's only part of it, Auntie Jen.
So listen, let me finish it. In the meantime, one of the IC lawyer, King's Counsel Kevin Powell, say the Court of Appeal ruling is justified.
Right. You see, that's only part of it, because one part of it is that the IC, for protection of people, I guess, for privacy, they redacted a whole bunch of affidavits, right? And the court said you can't redact them. Like, that needs to be released. But his main point, this is his main point, he wanted the court to say that it is illegal for the IC not to certify him, and they should certify him regardless of what the information they have.
Mm-hmm.
And they said no.
Yeah.
They said no to that. They said no. No. The IC has to certify your. Yeah, sorry, that's a no. But the court gave. So they're spinning it. So the one good part for him is that they need to unredact the information that they had, because he couldn't see who said what, who provided what in certain documentation in the investigation. They redacted it, the IC. So the court said you need to unredact that. But they're not going to go above the IC and usurp their powers that was granted to them by the Parliament to certify this information and to gather the information. So they're not doing that. So that's a major loss for him. So now they can refer everything to the FID and the various entities for them to do additional investigation, which he'll probably fight again in the Privy Council, I'm sure.
So they exhaust all the court in Jamaica now. So the next step would have to be Privy Council.
Yeah, he would have to go to the UK Privy Council.
Oh, so this judgment now, cause the court say everything can go ahead. So will we now listen forget an answer from the FID?
Probably not, because to be honest with you, I think he probably will take it to the UK Privy Council to fight that judgment from the appellate court. I'm sure he is. You have to assume the worst, and I'm assuming he's going to take it to the Privy Council in the UK, which will stop everything again.
But no, a Privy Council not going to take all that long though. But him have a chance to appeal back at Jamaica.
Not in Jamaica, but in the Privy Council. Remember, the Privy Council is the final court of appeal for the nation.
No, Jim, I not add you back in my box and I have no behavior. You disrespect me one night on my platform, you can't come back and tell me for add you. I tell you that the other night. Anybody disrespect me, I put them back in my box. So you can't tell me about me not no sense and me not this and that. You know, next sense you're going to come to the person back when I have no sense. That don't make no sense.
So to Jim's point, yes, he is allowed to appeal, but he's probably going to go to the Privy Council for that appeal.
Oh, so not in the Jamaica jurisdiction.
They already said what they said. Based on what they gave. He would need to come up with something new, something different, something outside of what he originally went with.
Well, that them I do. I come with something else to keep in a court.
Right. So if he comes up with something new that's different than what he said before for this appeal, then fine, the Court of Appeal will listen to him. But if it's nothing new, then you need to go to the Privy Council for them to rule whether the appellate court was right or wrong in their decision. So it could take a while. I mean, I could see him appealing to the Privy Council for this. Unless he could find something new, some other technicality that he could appeal to the Court of Appeals here in Jamaica. Because essentially he was asking them to basically force the IC to certify him without providing the additional documentation that they require of him. He has not provided that original documentation. That's what the IC said.
So why not just provide what the IC asking for and stop this whole rigmarole, I think?
Auntie Jen, you and I both know, I am not going to say it, but you know. If people are honest, you would provide that information, or you would sit there with them and say, look, I don't have these papers, this is what happened, and let the investigators, let them circumcise their opinion around what you said to them.
But as a leader of the country, should have him paperwork them in order?
That's my opinion, but hey, I'm not going to say yes or no, but that's my opinion on that. Because think about it. NTJ, I don't know in Jamaica, but here in the States, right? If I go for a mortgage, they want to know, and I have to show proof.
Yeah, I thought I heard you. The good thing that you're asking, Maureen. How can he want to get certified without being proved how he get it? But he want bypass and they must force them to certify him without the facts. You ever say anything like this?
Right, that's where I'm going at. Because Auntie Jan, if I'm going for a mortgage,
you're right,
here, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm going for a mortgage here in the States,
yeah.
I don't know about Jamaica. But here, I need to prove to the bank where I get my income, where I got my assets from. I have to show them the history. And if it's legal, it's all documented, right? So,
Yeah.
for example, I inherited this amount of monies. It was probated. They can see that probate. Fergie got this amount of money from this probate.
Yeah.
It went into my bank account. I won lotto. That's public. Fergie won lotto. He won this amount. It went into his bank account. So I would need to prove to the bank how I came of these monies. Because this is literally anti-money laundering laws
Yeah.
globally.
But if the
It's
IC,
just
well,
simple.
on the Fergie, let's say, I might turn up at one of the meeting at the IC need to show them a show him say him bigger than them, you know. He might turn up at one of the meeting.
Right. Okay. All right.
And the tree,
I'm not gonna say
thank you,
anything
Winston.
else.
Thank you, Winston. Yeah, the tree company, him have to give account for that. You know, I get
Right.
it, brother.
Right. And you see the problem he has, I would say, this is where I see he has major issues with, is that he has these charities that he utilize, or someone, I won't say he, but someone associated with those charities utilize those monies for private assets. So charities is one of those things you have to be careful of,
Yeah.
because that can be a funnel for illegal activities.
That's true.
So meaning they can, these illegal entities can use a charity to somewhat clean the monies to get it into the public. So they're saying I have a charity, I got these donations, and I made these private investments. But these are private investments not based on the charity's benefit, but based on your personal benefit. And not because you created entities that you move money from a charity to these private entities.
Yeah.
That's very suspect. That, in America, that would raise red flags immediately. Like, why are you moving monies from a charity to a private entity?
Herman, good night.
So these are questions, and I'm not
All
an
right,
accountant.
I'm going to give Jim a little try tonight, and if him disrespect me, I take him down out of the box. Where
Oh,
think
boy.
for it? Where think for it?
I say add him.
Add him?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you could kick him off. It's okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Yes. I mean, disagreement doesn't mean disrespect.
No,
you
no,
know?
no. It's not disagreeing. You're telling me that I don't have no sense. You can't tell me something I don't have no sense and then you want to come back on the same senseless somebody platform.
No. Probably you misunderstood.
Me never
what I was saying.
misunderstand exactly what you says.
No. It's because remember the issue we were discussing was with Desmond Mackenzie, and you at the time you weren't really sympathetic. I wouldn't say sympathetic, but you were adamant that the police had all right to do what he did, and that was where the disagreement occurred. But you probably didn't remember. You know that was the issue.
Me know
You
that
don't
was the
remember that,
issue
right?
and that's why you said me not have no sense.
No, I was saying that based upon how you were very insensitive towards the situation. I mean, that's where I said, well,
But since I just touch on it a little bit, if you look at it from a different perspective, if something was, Desmond said that the woman run behind him. And if him tell me that, if him come out and talk that out of mouth, so the woman run behind him, what would be the reason why the woman run behind him?
Well, Desmond is the boss, so the woman find refuge behind the Minister of Government.
So there must be
she
something.
thought that she
Well,
would
I
be
know.
touched
So
by
there
the
must be
police.
something was happening why she run for refuge.
Yeah, but Desmond said she said something, and the policeman was infuriated by the spoken words of the lady.
All right, we're not going.
She ran for cover
Yeah,
behind
so
the minister.
some of them women want to take off all their clothes and bend down and tell police where and which part and want them for condom. I see that down at the market one Saturday.
But you realize that a lot of police unaliving occurred over the past 36 hours. A lot.
I agree with them, and I mean I agree with them with some of the things where happen, but at the same time, some of the citizens them behavior rotten too.
Yeah, but the police doesn't have any right to be judge, jury, and executioner. But their lawful duty is to take
who give them a power? Who give them a power make you see them act this type of way nowadays?
The Prime Minister.
Alright.
And we have seen the body count. Because since the Prime Minister would have given that unlawful instruction, the police start to pile up the bodies.
Anyway, Andrew, we're talking about tonight.
Yeah. I mean, today's situation, the Integrity Commission has won legal costs against the Prime Minister. It's 3 companies, and also costs were awarded against the Prime Minister in terms of him personally suing some of the directors at the Integrity Commission.
I never know him did sue them.
Yes, man, and even Andrew Wheatley would have added some of their names on it, and Xavier Main. When they are filing suit against the Integrity Commission, they sometimes sue the director of investigation, probably the director of information complaints, or director of investigation and complaints. Because the DIC, director of investigation complaints, he would be the person to certify the Prime Minister. So he was personally sued along with the Integrity Commission. I don't think it is right to add on the people's names personally, because they are carrying out a statutory mandate of the Integrity Commission. So I think the reason they put their names on it is to compel them to attend court, But I think that their jurisdiction would come under the Integrity Commission. But, they are being malicious and using money and power to beat down the Integrity Commission. So they will make all the necessary moves to interrogate, disrupt, and frighten those individuals who are directors. But the Prime Minister has unlimited amount of money, and he could ask the Judicial Privy Council for special leave to appeal. Because if the local appeal doesn't give the PM leave, he can apply directly to the Privy Council for leave, And he has unlimited money, and even though he's sued in his personal capacity, at the end of the day, if the Prime Minister is accused of illicit enrichment, then in real terms, the monies that he's going to spend to do all these legal challenges are ultimately not his. So you think the Prime Minister is going to have all this power and authority and all the things that happen to SSL and NHT pumping hundreds of millions of dollars into SSL and 4 other agencies of government? You think the Prime Minister has to touch his personal money now? You didn't know that the Prime Minister even got a $50 million from Barita Investments, and then when IC asked him about it, he said it was a loan. When that investment company doesn't grant loans, he is way more powerful than when those reports emerge. The Prime Minister would have amassed more wealth now and galvanized strong support, and would have put people in critical positions of government. So I don't forget, that he can also sabotage the Integrity Commission by defunding it. Right? He has many mechanisms. Those members who are on the Integrity Commission's oversight body you will see that Dalrymple now moving more aggressively. You will see another Pernell Charles and Matthew Samuda moving aggressively to disrupt the Integrity Commission. And I am telling you that the Prime Minister is of a philosophy, you know, where he has power and he's not afraid to exercise those powers. And don't believe for a moment that this Prime Minister, who is threatening people to prevent or curtail free speech, is going to allow the Integrity Commission to derail his standing in Jamaica. He is going to beat them, and I'm telling you the real truth. So not through the courts, because the Integrity
that's what
Commission...
I just was going to answer that question, you know. In
Yes.
what way is he going to beat the IC?
Right. He's going to continue to file lawsuits, you know, because other persons who will be impacted negatively by the incoming reports that will be tabled in Parliament, he's going to personally encourage them to file more judicial review suits against the Integrity Commission.
Yeah.
He is not
Put it
going
out
to
there.
approve any supplementary budget for the Integrity Commission. The Integrity Commission will has a fixed annual budget, and I am sure that the Prime Minister will make effort to reduce that budget that they would normally receive. I hear that it's $2 billion per year. Don't be surprised if the Prime Minister destabilizes their financial standing for the next budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he has a lot of power, and the substantive claim, which is a constitutional challenge of Section 14, subsection 5 of the Corruption Prevention Act, where the Prime Minister is saying that I am not compelled to provide you with the source of my wealth. You should, if you have me doing something wrong, you should prove me wrong. You should come up with the evidence, right? And it's a similar provision in the Proceeds of Crimes Act. So if the Prime Minister should be successful in striking down Section 14.5 of the Corruption Prevention Act, it will have
that section was dismissed already, man.
No. That's his constitutional challenge. That is the basis of his constitutional challenge. That is his substantive claim, which has not yet been adjudicated upon. So what has happened now? The Constitutional Court is now, the full court can now hear that issue, because it was on pause until his appeal is exhausted. However, coming from this case, coming from this case today, where we appeal to have the director of I think his investigations, to have his affidavit struck. I think he may pick out constitutional issues and try to seek special leave to the Privy Council, because, as I said earlier, the Prime Minister has unlimited amount of money.
So let me ask you something. If him do special leave to the Privy Council, how long will it last? Forever?
Well, you could look at a Vybz Kartel's case. Easily 3 years, easily 4 years to reach a Privy Council. You know? Because remember, the Privy Council deals with cases worldwide, you know, in Commonwealth territories. You know, so Jamaica is just one out of many other Caribbean territories, and also the British.
But you know, so every case go to the Privy Council, we need you know.
I'm not saying he's going to win. Andrew Holness is not about winning Antigen. Andrew Holness is about using money and power to derail the statutory mandate of the Integrity Commission, meaning that he can go into another 4th and 5th term untouched. That is his goal. It's not about winning for him. He's taking advantage of a judiciary that can take many years to come to finality, you know, final decisions. That is what he is doing.
Yeah, that's fine.
He knows that his grounds are baseless, malicious, vexatious, right? but he is still pursuing them because one, he has unlimited amount of money. He has access to state resources. So the Prime Minister may have lost in the courts, but you can look forward now to the Integrity Commissions Act being tampered with by way of majority in the Parliament. He is going to amend the Integrity Commissions Act, and the opposition cannot stop him because it doesn't require a 2/3 majority where it needs vote from the opposition side. So that is what the Prime Minister is going to embark on now. So the longer he ties up these matters in court, he can do more damage to the Integrity Commission as an institution and also the act itself on which the Integrity Commission was formed.
But Jim, you want me to say something?
To that point, I just want to add, Auntie Jen, to that point, right?
Yeah.
So these multilaterals that he secured, which is not secured, they still haven't given any monies because they're loans. If they see these actions are taking place in the government of that country, they will renege on all their promises, because a promise is a comfort to a fool. So these were promises, not guaranteed. So we have international laws, anti-money laundering laws across the globe, and if certain companies, especially big banks like my bank, we see that your country is going behind that and trying to weaken those laws, you will not get the monies. The monies will no longer be there. That promise will be a promise to a comfort to a fool. You will not get a dime.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. People are watching. That's another thing. All and what Jim is saying is right, but you know, so people out there watching who are going in and
Yes, Jim is right, but people are watching. So he has to be very careful of how he plays this out. If he weakens the laws, right, then it will weaken the standing of Jamaica in the international community. So you will not get those monies because they will deem Jamaica as a corrupt country, as my president would say here, it's a shithole country, pardon my language, and we can't invest in you.
He has formed a good relationship with your president. So
no, hold on.
If he is to be
Jim. Nobody can farm. No good. Listen to me. Hold on, Fergie. My observation of Mr. Reddit up there, son. Don't bother taking for too much a friend. You hear me I tell you? Because any day you slip your slide. And right now we want to China them. You want the China them out of Jamaica like right now. And if Andrew keep linger, it may just turn upon him.
Right. And Jamaica has no oil. You have no gold. You have no rare minerals. You have nothing. You have zero. So you are just tourism. And if my president here says Jamaica's a shithole and put a bar on you guys because you guys are corrupt, you're not getting anything.
But
it's just that simple.
It was said that a minister went to a certain meeting and informed the U.S. government that it can absorb 10,000 of third country nationals. That's a huge figure that the U.S. would really be thankful for that offer, because it is unusual when you think about other countries and the amounts that they are taking, which are far lesser than 10,000. This would be the biggest numbers yet promised to be taken.
10,000 people that you have no idea who these people are.
But
yes, so I am saying by him making that offer to the U.S. government,
that means nothing. That means, Jim, I'm telling you right now, that means absolutely nothing. America promised Haiti decades ago that they were going to offshore their stuff to Haiti, and they didn't do it. They offshored it to China. And where's China now? And where's Haiti now?
Yes, well, we know, that offer is not in the interests of Jamaicans. It is solely to to enhance a stable relationship with the U.S. government.
And what's their relationship with Haiti? He called Haiti a shithole country. They eat dogs, they eat cats, they're eating your pets. This is what he ran on last year in the election.
I ate him, he said eat the cats and the
No,
dog.
he did. No, he did. Anti-Gen. He did. It was in the
Are the
debate.
Spanish people there?
No. In the debate with Kamala Harris last year, a couple years ago, he on the debate stage worldwide said they're in Ohio, they're eating your dogs, they're eating your cats, they're eating your pets. The Haitians. He specifically called the Haitians.
Oh.
Yes, I think so. But the shithole reference was also to African countries.
Yeah.
Jim, let's be honest here. You don't live here, I live here. And the racism
Cats
here
and
in this
dogs.
country is quite high. Okay? When he basically shithole countries for African nations and nothing for the European nation, he's basically talking about black people.
Yes.
We are
Oh,
black.
yeah, black
Obviously.
people.
Okay? So we can't separate the two. Jamaica is a black country. You're not white. You're not Spanish. He didn't call Colombia a shithole country. He didn't call Brazil shithole country.
But
He didn't call El Salvador or any of the Latin Americans. He called these African nations, and 95% of our bloodline is of African.
Yes. But the fundamental point I was trying to make, though, is that the Prime Minister knows that the U.S. is aware that he would have sold out Jamaica to the Chinese and get very wealthy as a Prime Minister.
They know.
So he's trying to play it safely now with
Yeah,
the
but
U.S. That is why he would be making these concessions.
No,
Right?
but even
It has
if
nothing to do with the interests of the people of Jamaica.
right, it has no interest in the people of the country, but he has to be very careful because if he start breaching the rules and laws of the country to bring corruption down, now Jamaica is corrupted. And
Well, not only
America,
that,
you see, the thing is, if you guys had oil, if you guys had gas, you guys have these rare minerals that they want, no problem. They will overlook that. You have nothing. You have zero. Z. You have nothing that they want. Everything Jamaica gets is from America. You are importing everything from America.
It's just a matter of time. Trump are going to trap him.
So the prime minister has to be careful. Breaching and trying to weaken those laws will affect everything else. It would affect your banking. Even you in Jamaica.
But even the third country national deal is illegal. A district court ruled in the U.S., you know.
It's illegal. We still have it here in the U.S.
And the Trump administration appealed it and asked for a stay of execution.
And
right?
it's still in the courts. It's still
Right.
in the courts.
The TCN agreement that the U.S. would have formulated doesn't have the approval of the International Organization on Migration, you know, because the UN is aware that it is unlawful, so they wouldn't be a part of that procedure. And the Prime Minister would be entangling himself in a deal that is unlawful, that is considered human trafficking and in violation of many other human rights.
Which goes to show you he's weak. There's a weakness to him.
But
I don't think people realize how weak.
No, it's not.
It is.
Hold on. Virgil, I think I want to agree with you. Say him weak. Him have
no,
to
man,
try-
this man is not weak,
Him
man.
try-
A
him
man
a try-
No, he's
He
weak
might try
in the
to please.
international market, but not in Jamaica.
Fergie, the level that Andrew Holness is reached right now in life, the man is coming from zero. Abject
Uncle Trump, I
poverty.
get him, Lucy.
Couldn't find nothing at all. Right? And the man is in third term now and saying he's going for a fourth term. Based upon all the financial activities that occur in Jamaica, and we have seen where a lot of state assets were offloaded to private interests, And we know how the kickback goes in the tune of a whole lot of money. And you know, it's not only money you get back in kickbacks, you know. You get beachfront properties also, you know, depending on the size of the deal and what you plan to give away. Right? Right. So I am saying, based on the Prime Minister's financial standing right now, as the youngest Prime Minister, the most fortunate person right now to be coming from nothing and is a Prime Minister, and the kind of wealth that he has amassed too is very unusual. Right?
And
we have seen where those same shell companies
well on the Jim, well on one little bit. Sia said something very interesting where I love. Trump is bullying Trinidad today, was getting an ambassador to Trinidad location. Yes, I saw that news in the paper after Trinidad take up FEMA and do all kind of something to help him for go in a Venezuela. The man end up now. I said actually I turn against Trinidad right now. You cannot tame that man, you know? Oh, no, put nothing upon him, you know. I tell you no, all right.
I was just about to say, Jim, Auntie Jen, look at the Duvaliers in Haiti. Look at Batista in Cuba. Look at all these other leaders who used illicit enrichment and got themselves rich. Where are they now?
Them never fade out right, you know.
Okay.
Never fade out good.
So Jamaica is probably heading down that path.
Fergie, the crimes that are being enunciated against the Prime Minister are very serious crimes. Illicit enrichment is just a fancy word, you know. It contains
basically you're
money
stealing from the
laundering.
government.
It contains money laundering, grand theft of public funds, tax evasion, falsification of business records, false declaration, fraudulent conversion. Is a whole lot of charges are contained in the accusation of illicit enrichment. So my point is that these are not just crimes that would be considered corrupt, because these crimes are more than nepotism, cronyism, and kickbacks. These crimes are done by persons who are hardened criminals, right? Who would have wreaked havoc on the lives of our Jamaican people in terms of the school system collapse, if you are sick, you can't get diagnostic machines to say what medical complication you have or whatever. And if you want medication, you can't get it. You see, people are not connecting corruption or criminality in government and the hardship that we are facing in Jamaica now.
They're not connecting it because on a individual level, right?
But you're bad in the bud.
We're doing okay. I have a car, I have a house, I'm good, but not connecting all the dots, right? And what I'm going to say to you, Jim, is that that's fine. He has all that money and he has all that power. But what I'm telling you is that Jamaica has no monies on their own, so they need to borrow and they need to engage the international community. I am telling you right now, working in the Global Investment Bank, my bank does not invest in Jamaica, period. And with my bank, who's one of the largest, along with the other largest investment banks, they do not invest in Jamaica, okay? So the moment the country or the prime minister that we see is going around and trying to circumvent the laws, their own laws, they're trying to circumvent or weaken their own laws, you're not going to get any money.
Exactly, Erman.
You're not going to get a dime. The United States government is not going to give you any money. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Oh, but YouTube, when I tap up the screen, man. Melva,
you
good
get
night.
Zero monies from the United States
Imagine and believe, good night. Tap up the phone screen.
So
my president already said, he already cut that off. You're not getting a dime.
Are you saying the $6.7 billion?
That's borrowed on promise.
Yeah. So are you saying that these cases that the Prime Minister is instituting against the Integrity Commission, are you suggesting that it may impact?
It may impact.
It could.
These loans from coming through?
It could.
May impact them. They're not going to invest in your country if they're not getting anything back. No investor is doing that. I'm telling you, just even on a simple basis. Am I going to invest
Well,
in you?
I would like the IMF and the other lenders to say that specifically.
They're not
you know?
going to say that specifically.
No, they
Not
never come out
publicly.
and say that, man.
They're not.
Come
They
on,
will
Jim, you know
talk
better
to
than
him
that.
behind the
You
doors.
think them now watch what go on, Jim? And they
Well,
would be discussing, but they would have come
you
out
know,
to say
These
that.
are loans, Jim. Jim, these are not them giving you monies. These are loans that
I
the
know.
country needs to take. And when I'm given a loan, if I'm a lender, think about it just practically. You
Yes,
as a
but-
lender, you are going to set the terms, not
Yes,
the
but-
borrower. So you
Right, but
borrowing
that,
money
it
can't
was
tell
signed
me.
off on already, you know. They
No.
signed up,
When
and
it's a promise.
the government would have
It's
received a
promise.
promissory
No,
note.
nothing. It's a promise. It's a promise. It is not signed off on.
Oh,
It is
really?
signed off on that they promise, but I am sure they are certain.
And then a one-time pay, and it's not a,
Liability.
it's
No,
not
no,
a,
it's over a 3-year period.
yeah, it's not a one-time payment
The
neither.
$6.7 billion US that
Right,
was
it's a promise.
approved for
Jim,
loan is
it's a promise.
3-year period, over
It's
a
a
3-year
promise.
period, meaning that it will be done in part payments.
And these lenders are
Uh,
going to indemnify themselves.
I
And
remember when
$3.2 billion out of that would go towards the private sector, places
Right.
like JPS and so on. And
Right.
I had a problem when the minister loaned JPS $150 million US immediately after the hurricane, while people didn't even get food, clothes, or water.
that
from
was
the
a sham,
government.
though, innit? Jim, that was a sham, you know.
Everything that man is involved in is the end, how it works.
All
So
right, so
the
from the
taxpayers
But
going
the
to be
thing
on
is-
their knees crying for mercy. He's also the co-chair of Hurricane Melissa Recovery Fund.
Yeah.
The same $1.44 billion that has not yet been spent.
Yes.
And we cannot give account of those monies. And I suggest to you that I think those monies are diverted, to put it mildly. Because if it was there, you don't realize that monies that the government is spending now, is from normal allocation to the Ministry of Labor and Social Security,
Mm-hmm.
We are not hearing anything about the hurricane relief money.
But say money from
Remember they had
money from
concerts in Florida and New York City.
money from burial still not spent yet. You know?
So let me tell you something. These politicians are super wealthy, and I think that even with Paul Buchanan's case, I think that under normal circumstances, the Prime Minister will ride out this electoral cycle, because we know that it's going to take a long time, right? And it could be problematic, because if the appeals court struck down his application and you're going to a lower court now, the lower court may not accept it either. So it's a lot of difficulties.
No.
It's not easy.
I don't agree with you with that. When you listen to what the lawyer said was said.
No, I heard the lawyer say he's going to the Constitutional Court
Yeah,
to
but
file it in a particular way, but he would have been there before.
But certain instruction, even though it was shut down, they are going to review what was said in the court, because what he was saying, the judge said, yes, these are serious breaches.
I agree with Paul Buchanan. Remember that Andrew Holness has a history with the constituency, It's about remember the 1997 election had to run about 2 or 3 times over?
Yeah.
You don't remember?
Remember
It's a
it,
history involving Andrew Holness. So the
I see.
precedent that Paul Buchanan is relying on is the same case against Andrew Holness and Dr. Blake.
Yeah.
Right? Remember that even in the last runoff, when the court said certain seats would have to be, certain divisions within the constituency would require new elections, and it was done, and it was in favor of Dr. Blake, and Andrew Holness went back to court and he won. So it was under dubious circumstances that he became member of parliament. So it's a continuation.
So the man have a criminal craft about him, though.
Let me tell you something. Right now, I can tell you, let me just tell you something. If the Director of Public Prosecution doesn't institute criminal proceedings against the Prime Minister and the Proceeds of Crimes Act being used to confiscate cash and assets, I can tell you, all these cases only going to waste. It will have no effect at all if the Director of Public Prosecution doesn't prosecute right now.
But do they have the authority at this stage?
Yes. There is no, until a court decision which bars the Prime Minister from being prosecuted, then the Integrity Commission can produce these files to the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Financial Investigation Division, and these files should be sent to the Director of Public Prosecution with a view to institute multiple indictments, multiple counts, right? Other than that, I can tell you the Integrity Commission doesn't really have the power to remove Andrew Holness or to even prosecute him right now.
And the power that, hold on, maybe correct you with that. I think of the power they have the willpower to do it.
But look here, the Integrity Commission on the Director of Corruption Prosecution, got a case to charge Andrew Holness for illicit enrichment, and she said there wasn't enough evidence, and she left the institution immediately after making that decision.
Remember that.
Right?
Remember that.
So, and also the IC may institute charges and then the Director of Public Prosecution quashes everything. Because at the end of the day, she can prosecute and she can end all prosecution. So that is why I'm saying the Director of Public Prosecution should act swiftly. These court cases that are going on do not prevent the authorities from charging anyone who is involved in criminality. The Jamaica Constabulary Forces Act would have given them the power and authority to investigate any criminal matters in Jamaica, anywhere at all, anyone, because the justice is not blind. I mean, justice is blind. It doesn't have eyes to see. It cannot be prejudicial in its application of the use of the law, right? So what is stopping the authorities now from instituting criminal charges against the Prime Minister? There is none. Judicial review is a separate issue, and the courts have not said that the Prime Minister cannot be charged. Why is it when a lawsuit reaches the Integrity Commission, they stop investigations and prosecution? Why? Why is it also when they have spent meticulous time to gather crucial evidence against these members of parliament or ministers of government, and then call them in and share in?
One of the problems we're facing in the country, why you say Andrew get away in the court. So the court, they well I know them are doing it, but I think them are look on the big disgrace of the country in how it are looking at the eyes of the world. And I think them are try to cut down the shame. I just that me a thing.
Well, the justice system has to run its course. You can't just try and circumvent, right? To say, oh, we have all this proof, go ahead and prosecute him. If the justice system allows for these appeals, judicial review, they have to go through their courses. We can't I get what you're saying, Jim, but...
So, Fergie, do you know that judicial review is applicable to also the JCF?
Right.
Suppose all these people who are charged by the police, hundreds every week, the jail cells are jammed, people having difficulties getting bail because they can't even afford lawyer. Suppose these people should ask for a judicial review on all criminal prosecutions against them. Can you imagine how it would mess up the administration of criminal justice in Jamaica?
Of course, but the thing
It would cause the system to collapse.
but this is the point I'm going to make is that they don't have the monies, they don't have the power, right?
Even if they have the money, my friend, it doesn't work like that. They would have to
Even-
be charged. They would have to be charged, and they would be tried. And if they are found guilty, they can appeal to the local courts of appeal, to the Privy Council.
But look at that point, Jim. Look at
The issue of
SSL.
judicial review
Look
is
at
not a
SSL.
constitutional right, you know. It's a provision within the civil procedure rules under the Supreme Court's Act.
Right,
It's
but
not a
look at
constitutional right.
but look at SSL. Look at Crosby and look at Harding. Where are they now? They're out on bail, right?
They got station bail, my friend, and it had nothing to do with fraud. It was regulatory breaches he was charged for. Nothing to do with the billions of dollars. You didn't know that? It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with fraud. It was regulatory matter like breaching FSC Act and all of that. It has nothing to do with stolen funds. And
Which is a
it's
criminal
$5
act.
billion crime with a B. Billion. $5
Right.
billion
It's a
crime.
criminal act. It's a criminal
Right.
act. It's not
So-
even civil.
So in other words, he is well protected by the Prime Minister who controls the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
You're right, Overton.
Right? That is why SSL boss has not been charged for anything in terms of the $5 billion that were stolen. Regulatory charges, I'm telling you, these things going nowhere, my friend. Nowhere at all.
And you see, that's the issue that the country has, right?
Yeah, that's the issue
Because
country.
these are things that are being looked at by the international community.
Yeah, yeah.
So don't think you're operating in a bubble. You're not. Okay?
Let me tell you something. You remember that Matthew Samuda came out a few weeks ago and said that it wants members of parliament to submit their statutory declaration to FID instead of Integrity Commission. You remember?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you don't even
But it-
question for a second that these guys are attempting to tamper with the Integrity Commission's Act.
Yeah, man, them are gonna try
They're
overthrow
going to
them.
do it. I agree with you, Jim. I totally agree with you. They're going to do it. They're going to attempt it. But again, what Jamaicans and the population don't understand, you're not operating in a bubble, right? You have no, again, I'm going to go to the point. If you guys have resources, if you guys have oil, a ton of oil that America wants, they will overlook this. If you had rare minerals that America wants, they would overlook this. But you guys have nothing. You have zero. You have Z. Your tourism, it's okay at best. There are other Caribbean islands that are even better. Okay?
Yeah, but Jamaica's geographical location is very important to the US. Very, very important.
Yes.
It is very important, but not important enough that they're going to sacrifice their financial.
I
It is
money.
important, man. That is why they are
No,
challenging
they're
the
not
US.
going to
That is why they are challenging
I am
the
telling
Chinese
you
now.
right now.
The Chinese dominance in Jamaica now. And remember, the Chinese dominance is caused by Andrew Holness, And why you think the man is so powerful and rich? Do you understand how Chinese nationals operate? Is one question they ask, How much? And it will turn up to your doorstep in cash. Or if you need it in property or whatever, you can get it.
Right. But the only time America will be interested in the Chinese interest is if China is going to start building, right, military bases, meaning military airports.
Well, I have read where the Chinese has a
And they
49% stake
because-
in our wars,
Hold on, because
meaning our ports.
Obama,
49% interest.
under Obama, they were planning to build a military grade airport, brand new airport for Jamaica. Okay? And Secretary Clinton told Jamaica, Bruce Golding, don't you ever, because we will cut you off. And that airport, the airport was supposed to be somewhere in St. Catherine. China had plans.
Clarendon.
No, Auntie Jen. This time it was St. Catherine. They were going to build a military grade level airport for Jamaica that you guys wouldn't have to pay for. They were going to fund that building. I remembered reading it. You guys didn't get that in your paper. I got it in mine. And she was secretary of the state, Hillary Clinton, and she went to Bruce Golding and said, absolutely not. You will not sign off on that airport ever.
Thanks for the words.
He couldn't. Bruce Golding had to nix that plan. There was going to be an airport, so they were going to move Norman Manley to St. Catherine.
I first be here now, and I must be honest.
Yeah, it was way back when. They were going to build a military grade airport.
Which part in St. Catherine they been a plan for building?
They didn't say which part, but it was St. Catherine was deemed to be the part to move Norman Manley.
Westmoreland, you know. I thought it was
No. They were.
I know they wanted Vernon Field or whatever.
No. It wasn't Vernon Field. It was in St. Catherine. They were looking. The Chinese was promising Bruce Golding government at the time to move Norman Manley Airport because it's, it has to deal with hurricanes and all of that. So they were going to move it to St. Catherine, but instead of building a regular airport, it was going to be military grade. So meaning Chinese fighter jets can take off and land on that airport because it's different grades when it's military versus civilian.
Oh.
And Secretary Clinton at the time said, absolutely not. You are not going to agree to this agreement. And he cut it off. He said, okay, we won't do anything. So that's the only time the U.S. is going to really step in, right? Is when China is looking to build infrastructure on that island that could be military. It could be militarized to affect America.
Yeah, but Fergie, back to the Prime Minister's substantive claim. These lawyers, they are con artists, you notice that immediately after today's appeals court decision, you realize that Andrew Holness's attorneys basking in the constitutional claim, right? Because they know that one, it's going to take a good while for that to go on the calendar to get a date right now in the Supreme Court. Secondly, they know that constitutional claims can go directly to the Privy Council. It's different from electoral cases. Right? So once it is a constitutional claim, the Prime Minister knows that he is guaranteed to take it to the Privy Council. That is why they are immediately banking on the outcome of his substantive claim in the constitutional court. These people are con artists. They know what they're doing. In other words, what the lawyers are saying. You can talk, man. The Prime Minister knows how to ride this out until the election is due. That's what they're basically saying,
Well, that do the last time too.
Oh yes, I know that.
But Mr. Buchanan, a plan for Canada Privy Council too.
Yeah, but the Privy Council antigen, how long will that take? There will be a new election before that goes to Privy Council.
I don't.
So you understand what's going on. Let me tell you something. If the people have to come out and protest, the people should study where they would have caused governments in other jurisdictions to call fresh elections, or where leaders have to resign. We have phones in our hand, can check out. You have the Middle East, you have Albania. People should do their research. There are ways of holding governments accountable and their leaders.
They're
The
not
Prime
going to do
Minister
that, Jim.
knows.
They're
The
not
Prime
going to do
Minister
that.
knows. Mhm.
They-
Right, because
Jim.
the people are divided. The people are divided along class, race, political parties, and so on.
Okay. There you
You know,
go.
so he knows that you're not going to get a large number of people to come out and protest and ask for him to resign. You understand? He knows
Right.
that we will never have that situation because people are divided. They're not
But
going
You
to come
believe, you
together
believe
for
though,
a worthy
Jim. You
cause.
believe you can get away all the time.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
People,
yes.
The people have to come and hold him accountable. Other than that, nothing is going on. And let me tell you something. Do not expect for a moment that the Director of Public Prosecution will rule for Andrew Holness to be prosecuted right now and stand trial. We will not see that.
I don't believe so neither. I tell you honest
Remember,
truth.
you know, that this DPP is a protege of the previous one, you know, Paula Lewin, who would
Yeah.
have developed an excellent relationship with the Prime Minister and his regime,
Yeah.
right? So ultimately, the people of Jamaica would have to hold him accountable by mass protests, and the people are divided, and he knows that. The kind of money that the PM would have amassed with his West Portland right-hand man and others in private sector and so on. Do you understand that these people can literally buy the fourth term? I don't think.
No,
you
no,
people
hold on,
really
hold on. I
understand,
would
you know,
never disagree
the
with
kind
that.
of money that these people have in their possession, you know.
Would you believe that I learned before the election, persons from Portland call me and tell me that people who work inside at the polling station, what you call them again? Get up to $500,000. Here over Portmore in the constituency with Terry Long, people get up to $1 million. As
Let me tell you something, Auntie Jane.
Yeah.
The breaches
I wouldn't be
that Paul Buchanan has outlined, I hear it's around 20 odd grounds. Some of those can be prosecuted criminally. Criminally. You're taking away ballot boxes and gone to different locations and masked men invading polling station. Those are criminal matters that should have been prosecuted immediately after they occurred. Right? So,
but you
let me
go
tell you
to
something.
well on there, Jim. Remember say police they may say take it back them car up. Turn the wrong way and carry
Yeah,
it.
well, the police can be prosecuted too. If they are in breach of the laws of Jamaica, specifically the Representation of the People's Act, which the EOJ comes under, then they can be prosecuted.
I want him
Once
we
you're
can tell you,
committing
you know.
crimes,
I want him we
Yeah.
can tell you, know. And this little old saying says, nobody can do more than their time, you know. And
yeah, but Auntie
and
Jane,
while me and you, there's a thing in life that comes in that me and you don't know when it will come. And we can die a plan say the next election. I don't know if maybe me and you will here, not even Andrew Holness don't know if he will be here for the next election. So sometimes we all a plan ahead and I say what going to happen down the line. But it is left to be seen because we don't really know. So a man can't think all what they want to think and plan all what they want to plan. But all them must come to fruition, you know.
Yeah, true. True. Very true.
And we can do
this
so
Prime
much and
Minister
no
is so
more. And right
barefaced.
now, I think this government is doing too much corruption and it must stop one day.
The Prime Minister is so barefaced that when the man's claim to have his declaration certified, and the court struck it down, and he went to appeals with it, you know. Can you imagine the Prime Minister is asking the court to compel the Integrity Commission to validate his statutory declaration when he failed to substantiate the source of his wealth, and the Integrity Commission would have asked him several times to produce the relevant answer and with supporting evidence, and he refused to do it.
Yeah. Hold 1 minute. Let me welcome Alvaro. Alvaro, good night. 1 minute, Jim. Good night, Alvaro.
Good night.
Where going?
I'm not even sure. So my thing with Jim matter, I don't want Jim explain to you. Because I'm kind of lost. When you say, the matter in front of the court today, was it about Andrew Wallace and I see it was Andrew Wallace versus Mr. Beresford? Which one of them?
It's something say,
He put the Integrity Commission along with directors on it.
Alright, so what was it about? Was it now about the affidavit statement and not about Section 12, forcing the Integrity Commission to
No man,
certify?
Exactly
Section
right,
14, subsection 5 of the Corruption Prevention Act is a substantive claim that has not yet been adjudicated upon. No court date is set for that as yet.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you that the part about compelling the IC 535.
Yeah, he lost
The
that.
court already tells you they can't do that. So if he can't go to the Supreme Court, no court can allow them to do that.
No, he lost that an appeal today. But I'm saying that the Prime Minister could find constitutional issues deriving from this appeal and try to seek special leave to go directly to the Privy Council because he has unlimited amount of money. So he will continue to do these
so
legal
he go Privy Council. I see law, they're going to use the judicate the matter.
But the bigger point is that you think the Prime Minister is doing it to win? The Prime Minister is doing it to buy time so that he can galvanize support and have more power and more wealth.
So if you buy time, go to Privy Council. When you go there, will there be a finality when you go there?
Obviously.
Because they obviously going to make a decision where they tell us, say, the matter is closed, transfer, or go right back down to the lower court. Which way happened today? They send him right back down to Supreme Court.
Yeah.
What do you matter when you go back down and go deal with?
So,
Well, no, they don't really send him back to the Supreme Court. They are saying that, remember the Supreme Court said when your appeal matters have been heard, then you can come back to us for a court date and have it been adjudicated upon. But the appeals matter could end it up in the Privy Council.
And when you go Privy Council, Andrew Holness, Andrew Weekly, Marisa Dalrymple, and Xavier Main have one thing in common. All four of them have one thing in common. You know what four of them have in common?
charged by the IC.
No.
That I know what they have in common. And Les Brown. 5 of them. All 5 of them have the same thing in common. You know what it is?
You mean Leslie Campbell? He is
Leslie
deceased.
Campbell.
He is deceased. He got an
All
official
5 of them have one thing in common. You know what is that?
False
All of them are thief. No,
When
man.
I see right to them, all of them, I see ask them to certify them finances. All of them run go for a lawyer. None of them go for your accountant.
Right.
If you didn't want to certify your figure, you'd have to go for an accountant who put the figure there. Why you would go for a lawyer for defend the figure?
Because
when it wasn't the lawyer who put it there.
the same lawyers. Remember, you know that Andrew Holness attained a 3rd term when he was in full battle with the Integrity Commission. That's what it's all about. To get 3rd and 4th term. Andrew, you think Andrew Holness care whether or not he wins in court?
The court not going to stop that for a matter of a year, so.
Well, so what is to stop him getting a 4th term? I'm
But
sure
Jim,
he's more powerful
but
now
hold on,
than when he
but Jim,
achieved the 3rd term.
But Jim, it was confirmed today with the Paul Buchanan that there were serious breaches of the election.
All right.
Yeah, well, let me
So
just
that's
respond to
in
that.
one
Yes.
constituency. So we don't know all the others.
No. The court didn't say they were. We know, that the people do not want him there, because he would have unleashed maximum poverty on the people there. The people are suffering as a consequence of having him there as MP.
The attorney for the own government said there were serious breaches.
What the court said is that Paul Buchanan, the claimant, is claiming serious breaches. The court has not adjudicated upon
But the
issue.
attorney for the government stated the day before that they were serious breaches.
Why would Paul Buchanan's case be dismissed twice
They
It was
said the
dismissed in the
time.
Supreme Court,
What I
and
learned
it was
though
dismissed in the appeals court
is the
because
time, the
of
Well,
timing.
the appeal court
of
gave him
late
an
filing,
option.
because of
Gave
an
him an
issue of
option.
late filing.
I'm not take time. I'm not
Correct.
take time. Now get over on yourself now. We are do well from night, one at a time.
So I ask one more question. And I'm going to say this.
But you can speak without asking question, you know. If you have a contribution to make, you just speak freely. You don't have to ask questions.
No. We not over talk, man. We not get there.
Your problem with Paul Buchanan case now.
Yeah.
And people have listened attentively, you know. Because me hear you while man say something I'm very concerned about. Yesterday you while man said that the information was compelling and the other side of the and say yes then confirm to this. Today now you while man I say, boy, it is compelling, but they say time pass.
Yeah, the time
And we
is
have to
pass.
file another matter in another court. Then if you did win the case, then the court will give a ruling say based on what happened, they will make a ruling say this must happen in a case.
No, the case was dismissed today. It was dismissed.
So the case
It
was
was
dismissed.
twice. Yeah. Paul Buchanan's case was dismissed.
And what
So
was
they
the
are
result?
now saying they're going to try and file with the Constitutional Court.
It's-
No, there could be issues there also, because if this matter would have been dealt with by the appeals court, and then you're reverting back to the Constitutional Court, I don't know how that will work.
But
Because
let me tell you something those fees say can't work.
The Prime Minister could say this is similar to double jeopardy.
Let me tell you what I'm thinking now gonna work. Remember, you know, the first thing Paul Buchanan did know, he filed a matter with EOJ. When EOJ matter never work, he filed a matter with the Constitutional Court. Then how if he go back down to the Constitutional Court again, go and file a matter?
I can't do it.
What he's saying is that he's going to file it in a different way, but the substantive matter would be the same. So that is similar to double jeopardy. It would be
Exactly,
the
because
same
section
issue you're
37,
putting
he have
back.
to file it on again.
Because even if you file it differently, it would have been to produce the same outcome that you went on at the Court of Appeal for.
Yeah, you go two court higher than the constituted authority. Then how if you go back down 2 steps down where you down there come from?
I understand that, but you know, at the end of the day,
Me just concerned about that part that when me hear you while man say, them all have to file back something Monday morning.
Alright,
In a lower court.
stop
When
a
they did the
while.
upper court.
Listen, let me play back the clip.
Constitutional motion because the Buchanan's rights are not being yet determined in terms of issues raised by the court. The court shut them out on the basis that time was against him.
Time was against
So,
him.
get around what they're saying. With the final constitutional motion of section 13 of the charter, which mandates that the election should be free and fair, and those rights are not yet determined. In the event of the constitutional motion being prepared, we'll be asking the court to direct of elections to declare the election of Mr. Boles to be illegal, null and void, and have no effect, and so we will achieve the same that we're trying to achieve by way of constitutional legal. And this is preparing the way, in my view, if we have to go to the ultimate step, we will go do so.
Alright, so me just play right there so me can hear.
oh, so in other words, what Mr. Wildman is saying, instead of going through the ROPA Act, the Representation of People's Act, he will now go by way of the Constitutional Court, because under the Constitution, he is saying that you have a right to fair and free election.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
hold
how
on.
he will maneuver that.
But Jim, here part of me, them piece of them are going to have problem now. The part of me think them are going to have problem. And me see problem coming. You see bunch of, a lot of evidence when Paul Buchanan talk about. You know what kind of evidence it is?
Hearsay.
Affidavit and hearsay. And when they see on camera, they can go identify people. I you know, sure, you know, say no truth, you know. You know, sure, say see a witness where hearsay and say claims to them see, you know. When it comes to the court, they may not turn up, you know.
Let me say that I categorically support the challenge that Paul Buchanan is making.
No, I'm not saying I don't support it. I am just saying, for you are going to file in a constitution court now, is same matters which he constituted the authority so them no find no such evidence. For JS then do the investigation, them no find any evidence. So what kind of evidence you gonna bring back where constituted
No, I can't. Hold on. There's something. Hold on a liquor. Let me go back to the
What I'm
clip.
saying.
Late filing. Not
What
evidence.
I'm saying, Jim.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me go back to
No,
the
man,
clip.
we know antigen. It wasn't about the evidence.
No,
It
no.
was
Him
about
say
late
something.
filing.
Hold on, man. Him say something else. Listen.
Session by Mr. White yesterday that the breaches that were highlighted by me and the findings, and even the court today said that Mr. Buchanan presented evidence of serious breaches. So, like those concessions, it is my respect that it's a proper case to go under the Constitution to have the elections that will reflect the blood and water.
Let me just add.
Listen to the lady.
I hear Council White was saying in his view. That's an important point. The law exists in the gray area between the black and white. That is clear. And that is why there are levels of courts. That is why when you get a decision, it can be reviewed and it can be appealed and you can go higher and higher.
That's correct.
The fact that a court makes a decision that is reviewed later doesn't mean the court was unlawful in their decision, though you may disagree with the decision. I disagree with the decision of this court, though I understand it. And what I'm glad about is the fact that the doors of justice, the doors to justice are not shut.
All right there, so I want to stop later. She said the doors to justice, even though the court gave a ruling today, the door of justice is not shut. What do you say on that?
But all I'm saying to you, I mean, I come back to the same point. You see the evidence of Mr. Buchanan, or where people them claim to say them see here or experience. You see if them same people at the turn of a police station with the matter, and police are looking for whoever man when jump over a wall in a mass, and police investigation launch, your case would have been totally different. Because one, people life now a threat, and based on the section of the Constitution where you have a right to live, that means Paul Buchanan case even more stronger. Because people, when man them threaten them from the constituency, but in mere fact, then give a statement, and then people will turn over police station with the official police report. It's go hard to find. I don't say you can't fight it, but it's go hard to fight that matter.
What you say about that, Jim?
No, there is precedent, you know. Remember we just mentioned the precedent whereby
Yeah.
Dr. Warren Blake, who was running for the PNP, right, would have had the same issue with Andrew Holness, right? And based upon substantial irregularities, the court requested rerunning some of the divisions because there were issues of missing ballot, you know, and discrepancies. We're missing votes and mismatch counts, you know, exceeding the total margin of victory. And it's a similar thing that Paul Buchanan is claiming. Paul Buchanan is saying that the Prime Minister won more votes than what is even available in the constituency.
Yeah.
Right?
Hold on. Me tell God Almighty truth, me no buy that one. Can me tell you why me no buy that one? Me tell God Almighty truth, me no buy that. And me tell you why me no buy it. If him get more vote than in our constituency, one, you make such a bold claim. Now I say no truth, you know.
No, it come up already still in Alvaro from a long time that the counting was in excess of the voters list.
It can't insect our voters list when less people vote than on the voters list.
Yeah, but where there is evidence tampering and issues like that. Remember, you know, he said that masked men entered the polling station.
Jim, you know better than that.
No man, if the procedures were not
But
followed
there's a
according
there's a true evidence of evidence and a real evidence in Alvaro.
Jim, but I'm telling you, I read the Supreme Court file for myself. And is Jim said, Alvaro said, Fergie said, nothing said, here is the evidence.
Send a copy to me, please. Let me read it.
Okay.
Because I never read
Okay,
it.
me can download them, make you read.
Yeah. I
So
just
that's
tell
how
me
they
if
say.
I find it, no problem.
But the point I really want to make though, Auntie Jane,
Yeah.
is that even though Paul Buchanan may have a legitimate claim against the Prime Minister, because we have seen where Andrew Holness has developed a pattern
A pattern, yeah.
with all his elections, right?
Yeah.
So, but the issue of time is a great factor. By the time it's a constitutional matter they have raised now, you know, and constitutional matters can go straight up to the Privy Council.
I love
So
that,
by
Jim.
that
I
time,
love
the
that.
Prime Minister would have already served his 5 years. So probably Andrew Holness is smiling and saying,
No, but
"Let us
yeah, what gonna
continue
happen
to
though?
deal
Yeah,
with
what
the
gonna happen
court."
though? I think there's also a lesson the PNP will learn. I think Paulson left something out there for you, you know. Something that the PNP will learn, and I'm going to tell you, they're gonna have people this time around. Andrew not gonna get away with them well pass it again, because people gonna have evidence. It's like how a lot of things where they find out, so then they have evidence. Him now go get away off of the hook like the next time. May I tell you
Just
now?
say this to you. But first thing Andrew Holness lie them in a do. I first thing them all contest in high court. You call up witness number 1, Pakistan. Or a man in mass of face jump over the entire polling
Thank you,
station.
Jelly.
Ask yourself this question. 99% of police station and police always did it. What did that so-called witness do after the person jump over a wall? Did that then still go vote? Did they then call the police? What did they do after that?
Jim Olan, man.
Once
Olan
there
one.
are irregularities,
Jim Olan one
then
bit.
the election should be declared null and void.
Olan one
Jim.
bit. Olan man, let me tell you something. I'll tell Advara this. Advara, me tell me I and say this, right? The police then was a no-show on election day. I tell you that. And when me say,
Yeah, but that's how you take your eye and see that when if you go and quote a different thing.
no, me tell you, if it was a situation, but me don't know, but me say, because one at a time when me say a certain thing, you know, one mind I say, but true when me see so much of them out there, me just drive and go down the hill and go turn and come up back and take me just walk out of them. But what I'm saying, police pass and say the same thing when me don't let them just pass, look through, and nobody stop to say nothing.
Yeah, but
what I'm saying to you.
when you are filing claims,
No, me not talk about me not talk about the claim. No, hold on, man. I'm talking about the police them on the day of election. Not never bother them. All any people them did that broke law them.
Yeah, is a point I want to make that the claims that Paul Buchanan is making doesn't require proof beyond a reasonable doubt like criminal law, you know.
Yeah.
It is on a balance of probability, so it doesn't have to be absolute proof.
So Jim, let's say you go to defend Paul Buchanan and you use the proof of probability. Say Fergie claims say him see a man jump over a wall and come into the election era. Let's say me I represent Andrew Holness and said, anybody else in the polling, how busy was the polling station? Did anybody else see that the occurrence there? Are you alone see it? What is the probability I lie you are tell? What the probability say a PNP you just don't like me? What the probability of many other things? So probability balance can be 50-50.
Yeah.
I must say one person see it, you know, and a 10 person write the same claims and then see man, you know.
Yeah.
Or see man them, you know. So we have to look
Me
for all of that.
evidence.
The point I am making though is that there is precedent for this exact case involving Andrew Holness against Dr. Warren Blake.
Warren, he did the same thing.
It's
No,
the
Jim is right.
same thing coming out.
Jim is right.
And Andrew Holness.
He did the same thing. That's how you want to see.
Holness did win by way of a similar avenue that Paul Buchanan is taking now.
It can't be the same thing, Jim. When they may have more vote that are available. This is not the problem. Remember, the majority I claim when you put forth for your client, you know, is that irregularities. And the irregularities.
Oh, no,
Paul
name Jack
Buchanan.
Kingston.
Alright, me tell you one more
Me
thing.
no
I
really,
think that's straight.
tonight, me not plan to put no bad night box and me no know who I'm talking about. Me can't take.
One thing I think that's threatening case, so I think him should have follow up with. When he report the matter to a Jamaica Constabulary Force, said there is irregularity. Where's that police report? Instead of to know the police don't respond to him, where's the follow-up letter from the lawyer to write to the police high commission? Or to the commissioner of police say, you have filed a report on this matter, no further investigation. Then the court did assist say, then all means you are trying to resolve the matter, it was reported. But if I just, you said Jim, and me say, it's a 50-50 balance in front of the court. Because remember, the EOJ said they investigate the case already, and they found no such claim to be true.
Yeah, but the substantial arguments that Paul Buchanan is claiming is not yet adjudicated upon. It
But
was
I'm
just
saying
a matter
to
of
you,
them being
if you go
dismissed
to
twice because of time limit. So
No, what I'm saying, remember
the
saying
court
no.
wouldn't have gone through the facts that Paul Buchanan is opining. Right?
But all I'm
he
saying to
is
you,
claiming voter intimidation, double voting.
alright, I'm actually, alright.
guys,
Let's say
I think the more- But I think the more important thing is that the attorney for the government stated that they were serious breaches. So that's
Well,
very key.
Was it the attorney
Oh.
though?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the
but
attorney
attorneys can't
for
say
the
anything,
attorney
It's
general.
a judge's
attorney
decision
can't say
that matters.
anything. The judge that is the body paper.
Yeah.
The judge, that the body judgment paper, I mean nothing.
Right, but I
It's like
think
how
with
you
the
were-
attorney for the government
I am
stating
relying.
they were serious breaches.
No, I am not saying you man, you wild man is lying. No. I am saying attorney can't come say anything they want to say.
So let me say something to you, Alvarez. So why Mr. Wildman, I don't know, say him a chase the goose wild.
But
Well,
if you don't know,
we can't really read the minds of lawyers,
look, all I'm saying is that
Thank
let's
you,
say,
teacher.
let me put it this way. You wild man is the same lawyer for sticky finger. And he knows a sticky finger not going anywhere. He knows a railroad not going anywhere. That Mr. Buchanan no have a case,
Me get
All
you,
I'm
man.
saying
Me
is
get
that-
you quite clearly, Alvaro. Me understand.
All I'm saying is that I think with this case, he has a strong case. But the skeleton of the case need more flesh. And the flesh where skeleton need,
A free
they
man
need
did for
more
him.
agency report. Just like he say report it to the police. He should have a follow-up letter go to the court. Say
But
he
we
want
don't know, we
police
can't
to
say that,
decide
we can't say and say that though, because we don't know what they really have, because the liar couldn't so full still,
Alright, so based on what is on the Supreme Court website, where court files say, is the witness A said them see this, witness A say police come and voter intimidation.
I
Then
feel
they
good
say,
night.
then they say witness A say, then left and then go report you up a 3 Mile police station or wherever the closest police station there. I'm not saying I have a strong case, I just think from morning that this case need more than just claim. It needs substance to the claim. Remember election season, one person favor PMP, one person favor JLP, one person don't even care about politics. I'm going to go about them business, they don't busy PMP or Labour, right? The person who claims a man jump over a wall, was he the only person see person jump over a wall?
No.
Well, as I said,
I think they have a couple
I'm
people
sure-
with the
I'm sure
evidence
Paul
that's why they jump
Buchanan-
over a wall.
I'm sure Paul Buchanan is relying on a similar case with Andrew Holness and Dr. Warren Blake in 1997. I'm sure that
Yes,
is the
and he used
precedent
that, Jim.
he'll be using.
No, well, and he used that for truth. That's a part of the case. But the substance to Dr. Blake and Jones, a different matter.
Okay.
That a case of precedent we are using, which can be used, but how we link to the current matter now?
My issue is that there could be a roadblock by Paul Buchanan going back to a lower court to deal with the same issue
Me think it's same.
that the appeals court would have already dealt with, because it would be to achieve the same outcome. So
No, but
a lower court would say-
but then talking is like the court would then give them that opportunity to do so.
No,
Unless,
man, you can't file anything, man. Anything you can file.
You can't find
Whether or
anything
not-
you want.
whether or not it's accepted.
It just come like you go to college. You're there at college. And then you have to go left back from college. You're there at university. They have to go left back to college. Then you come back to high school.
Let me tell you what I think will be going through the mind of Paul Buchanan this evening. I think by now on Monday, he and his team will determine whether to take the matter from here on to the Privy Council or to revert back to the Constitutional Court. I think it is a decision to make. Personally,
let's say we go
the experienced attorneys would have to make that decision and advise Paul Buchanan accordingly. But I see an issue whereby you're going to take back matters that would have been dealt with by a higher court to a lower court, you know, to obtain the same outcome. There is an issue there. So they have to decide over the weekend.
Why never go to lower court first with the same similar issue? And if you never resolve this, so that means you need to go to higher court. But if you go to higher court and have to come back down to the lower court to resolve the same matter in a different way, I don't know. I just think it's the same way, don't you? I just think it's
the main thing what I must say about the court still in and none of where we are talking about who with evidence, you know. The main issue is the time, you know.
Yes, the timing.
Yeah, none of the facts have been adjudicated or ventilated as yet.
No.
None. It's a technical that they have struck the case twice. Technically.
So the Supreme Court struck you out and every twice, 3 times. Or 4 times. I remember say EOJ say this case have no merit. Then he go and constitute the authority. The constituted authority said them not find nothing based on section 37E. This case.
No, Alvaro, correction. I never saw them say in time when he come in was too late.
No, that I court the constituted authority.
Yeah, but we know, listen, Glasspool Brown got a national award weeks before the election.
Yeah, so we know that was a red card. You know, say
ethical conviction.
The PNP never wants to, you know, say the PNP should have opened up their eye for the man to get award.
No, but hold on, we can't.
That's what I would do personally if I was in Glasspool Brown's position.
We can't go put it if say, because Blaston Brown get the result.
So
yeah, Alvaro, yes. That was a sweetening up.
Hold on. So you are saying
can't assume that though.
Hold on. So you are saying that the report was upon EOJ side, but EOJ detail a 5-page report and identify line by line each claim. You are saying that's not a valid claim, but because you get a national award.
Well, I never read the claim, so I
am more inclined to hear the matters being adjudicated upon in a court of law instead of the EOJ.
But, yes, I don't disagree with that.
The EOJ
is compromised. The EOJ is compromised, and we know that.
I agree with Jim. I agree. And I think, again, the main point when the attorney for the government said there were serious breaches a couple of days ago, that is a key fact.
So with an existing precedent and these malpractices and irregularities on the day of election, they don't require proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Right? They don't require proof on a reasonable doubt because it's not criminal law we're talking about. So I think that Paul Buchanan should assert himself accordingly and challenge this case until the end. The only issue they will have to decide on now over the weekend, because they have to take it.
Well, I believe they're taking it to the Constitutional Court, from what I heard today.
That's what the lawyers said.
Then they decide fully doing it. Then they say they're going to look at the options.
Right, but they will have to think in these kind of matters. They're going to need the weekend to think over to make a proper decision on Monday morning. Because
Monday no holiday.
Well, whenever normal business
or Tuesday, right.
Whenever normal business day starts back.
Yeah. Me don't know. Me find the same problem to say. You leave the constitutional court and go way up at top. And we come back down now, come file the matter and a different case get the same result. What different you are going to bring to the court? That was
Well,
before.
the liar them
But
with a
the
must.
other issue is that by the time these matters should be exhausted through the appeals court up to the Privy Council, because the Prime Minister has unlimited amount of money. He can challenge these things and he has access to state resources. So this will take him into another election. So at the end of the day, the Prime Minister is
Next
still
election,
smiling.
that part of the matter is to reach you say wait. Remember, you know? Remember, if you pass out a airport with a case, you know. One you're gonna need a barrister. A millions of dollars we are talking about on a chicken feed millions, you know. Millions of Jamaican dollars to do that thing.
The man of money, man, how we are talking about. You think the man broke?
Uh-huh.
Well,
I
what I
remember say
heard
Privy
Paul
Council
Buchanan said
only
is that
here.
the PNP wasn't really supporting him from the initial stages, you know. I hope it changes now. But
They support him. No, Jim, I can't say that.
No,
no,
you can't say
I'm
that.
serious.
No,
I'm
no,
serious.
no,
I
no,
listened to
no, you
several
can't tell me
interviews
that. No,
by Paul
hold
Buchanan.
on. In the case of the election, the PNP came out and gave a press relief. Okay, if I could have find back the clip.
No, I'm saying it's court case. It's
Hold on,
court
man,
case.
hold on. And they publicly stated that they will support Buchanan. But there is a case like Central Kingston and Terry Langhorne, they wasn't going to pursue it. But in the case of Buchanan,
So when you call not support? Then the man say, Mark Golding give him $1 million.
No, man. The last time I heard Paul Buchanan, he said that he's thankful for his attorney because it's just him and his attorney working
Nah,
out
man,
this
they have
case.
to say when say Mark Golding give money, man.
Well, no, I've never heard that, and I listened to him.
Then give him support, man. Maybe he think, me no know.
No,
He
man,
get support.
I didn't hear that, sir.
I
me
don't know if,
assist you.
honestly, I don't know if he can get no money. But me know they
He
said,
get money from
Paul
him.
has his own money. Paul he's okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I
but
think let's try
I
find you
I agree with the purpose and intent of Paul Buchanan's claim.
me respect him, man. Honestly,
100%
me still respect Paul Buchanan for a stand up.
Hold on. Make we read one I
Even if I highlight it, it's a win.
Hold on. Make we highlight one I claim. You see this claim about double voting, I don't buy it. Me tell you why I don't buy it. Let's say me give Fergie 2
It at me now.
paper
It
fit
at me now. It at me.
Hold on. I don't buy it. Let me tell you why I don't buy it. If a 2-time man vote, did they find it 2 ballots in our box?
Yeah, but
That is a
under
that
the
is
same name,
something we can
under the same name, I'm voting in Alvaro.
No. But if we are going to say man double vote, I don't know, same name.
But I tell you, say it happen though.
No, well, we could challenge you one of them say a double vote. So we know sure say man get two voting paper. So at the time when they give me 2 voting, is the voting paper them have
And
double?
at the same time you vote.
Hold on.
And I mean, I tell you the thing set up, Alvaro. Let's listen what I tell you. You see the double voting thing? And I like you just go in at the polling station and you vote mark 2 ballot. You
Yeah,
mark,
but
you mark and you come out and you go about yourself and maybe not even the same, maybe it's not even the same polling station, but within the constituency.
The person where them claims to say vote 2 times, would have vote and he go and come back and vote again.
But that's the main way it could have really happen.
Yeah, but I know that them are claiming a case.
Well, me
The
don't
man
know.
say ballot spoil and then give him a different one that they have in a case.
Well, did the spoiled ballot count?
That's why I say,
No, the sub.
Right, the spoil ballot shouldn't be
The
counted.
facts.
Alvaro, I saw serious
the
breaches
facts of this case are
election
not
fraud
yet
going
outlined.
down still in some serious
Hold on,
something going down.
No, the facts of this case, the facts of the case has not yet been adjudicated upon. They only struck the case twice because of a time limitation.
A time limit them say. That's all
Right.
them say about the case.
Right.
These factual claims have not yet been tested by the court. And the persons who were at the polling stations, they are called witness of facts. Right? So if Paul Buchanan have those people to give testimony on his behalf, then those are evidence too.
And all I'm saying to you, Jim, and the simple case is, I am not saying it cannot be tested in front of the court. But what is in front of the court, Supreme Court website right now where you can go read? Nothing in there tell you say, then confirm say antigen say, them have pan video, them have pan record. It's me say and Fergie say and you say. That now can depend on a balance between you see and me say when good lawyer back up in front of court, it start kind of foolish after that. Witness can stand up strong and hold
Thanks,
information.
Fergie.
That
Well, at the end of this, you Wildman is saying that they're going to make a claim that Paul Buchanan's constitutional right was breached of not having fair and free election. So that wouldn't require any trial. Nobody don't have to go there and testify as witness in facts or whatever. Once the argument is compelling, then the court will make a decision. Because at the end of the day, constitutional court is not going to accept people coming in and giving witness testimony and all of that.
Jim, remember, you know, if you go to constitutional court, go tell them say your right was breached, you know. With that statement, you know, with that evidence you carry come, you know, you have to go bring supporting argument or evidence to say that happened, you know. Which may come back to the same thing. Whatever you did presented then, you now have to go provide meat to the bone of the skeleton of the case where you are from morning.
All I know, it is a long challenge. The Prime
Very
Minister
long
is in a
challenge.
very powerful position. The Prime Minister, from zero, is now a wealthy man. And he says he is going into his fourth term unfettered. So he's not worried about these cases. He has access to state resources. And so far, listen, the Prime Minister would have won this third term during hot battle with the Integrity Commission. This man is also pursuing a path that will curtail freedom of expression for people who would criticize the actions of his government. So what else this man will not
But I
do?
could challenge that now. Let's say me say things about the Prime Minister. You only can be found curtail in front of the court if the thing is not true, you know. So the Prime Minister can come
But
and
even if the things are not truthful, that would be under defamation, not criminal proceedings.
We never comment now. Listen now,
if you
Jim.
tarnish someone's character and reputation, that is defamation, is not a criminal matter.
One
But
thing,
what the
well
Prime
on the
Minister
letter.
I think what the Prime Minister wants to say is that under the Cybercrimes Act, it would give him latitude to order the police to arrest people, and I disagree with that, because if people are not saying anything to destabilize the government, anything malicious to cause public harm, then what claim the Prime Minister has to give police instruction to prosecute people
But how
who
police are
would give
prosecuted if the law no exist?
constructive critique
You're going to make
of
a
the
law,
government.
Advara. You're going to make a
If the
law.
law no exist, what more charge?
You're going to make a law.
These are public interest matters that should be ventilated by the public.
But one,
And so
one,
I
on the,
don't
one on the 1 minute.
under
Let me
what
tell you
ground
something.
the Prime Minister has these powers.
Let me tell you something. He could have make law till he can't make them no more. You see? Thank you for the gift. Free something. I want him to come forever and say. And he can send the police them for me because I can prove in a court anytime, anywhere. Is that the Prime Minister is one of the liarest public man I ever see. Him don't talk truth. And I can prove it. Me tell you one of the first thing when he lie with. He come out and say he grew up in our one-room house, 56 Cumberland Road. Then one next time he say a two-room house. Then he say over then when they come and go down a featherbed lane and a break ground, I tell the people, they say, oh, he used to traverse as a man in the evening to school. Where me really live?
But I don't know them part of it. You know, say I like matter, man. But all me I say still, it matter is a them have to do seriously think about the case. Where look for how I had a prejudgment, them are closing case them. Where they can pick
Thank you,
from that
please,
and where they need to go
fornication.
forward.
His biggest issue and the biggest case, not even so much Paul Buchanan's, is really the Integrity Commission one, right? So That one will be very interesting to see how that one plays out.
Well, it's good, you know. It's good that the appeals court made this decision in favor of the Integrity Commission. It's a very good indication that the court is upholding the rule of law. Very good, right? Because the Prime Minister would have to pay the legal fees of the Integrity Commission, the directors who were involved, and also the companies would also have to pay their legal fees. And three companies, and we know those companies are shell companies, right? The companies that the Prime Minister has weren't doing any business activities, but the bank accounts were very busy.
Right.
You know, so that's a very, very good indication. But I put it to you that it will not cause the Prime Minister to be prosecuted. You understand me? And that to me is of great importance. Holding the Prime Minister accountable is more important to me than an IC victory. Right? If the Director of Public Prosecution is not so inclined to press charges against the Prime Minister and activate the Proceeds of Crimes Act, meaning all possibly ill-gotten gains are confiscated, then other than that is an exercise in futility.
Them can't charge him for that. A DPP have to charge him for that.
Right. But I'm going to say this to you, Jim. If that is the case, then Jamaica is in trouble.
We're not trouble. Then we're not in trouble.
Because the international,
clergy.
I'm telling you right now, the international community that promised these monies in loans to that country will renege on those loans. And they didn't even sign definitive agreements yet. Okay?
No man ain't saying murder man.
No, because we don't know the interest rates. We do not know the terms.
They would have that clause
signed
in the terms of agreement.
Understanding.
Well,
so that can always be changed. Always.
I'm saying it.
So it's not definitive. So
I'm saying the agreement is over a World Bank website.
Verbal right of our not signed in ink.
The signed ink document is over there.
Under what interest rates are they charging?
Yeah, then I decide the interest rate I took a flavor.
No.
Listen.
When we do a loan, we sign interest rate. You're going to pay this. These are the terms, and that's how loans are given.
And I'm saying,
hold on. Let me say something. The deal has been signed, but what we should ask, Fergie, why is it
what are the
that
terms
the government
of those
is not
deals?
able to take any tranche of that payment as yet?
Because they haven't signed the deal. I'm telling you right now.
Hold on.
I know that. Hold on. I know that right after the hurricane, the IMF loaned the government
These are promises.
$435 million for balance of
promises.
Hold on. The government start getting money already.
They haven't disclosed the terms of those loans.
No, they don't get the money as yet. Let me tell you what money the government got. The government got a 12 US million grant.
Not the money yet.
That's a grant.
This is
That's
important.
not a loan.
The government got $660 million US from the catastrophe fund ban.
Okay, that's not a loan.
Hold on. Let me finish the last part. And the $435 million US from IMF, which is for balance of payments.
Okay, not a loan.
Hold on. I'm going to finish. For NARA, the government has not yet received a dollar.
Not a dollar.
They haven't signed anything. They have not. There are going to be terms. I'm telling you right now. As a lender, there are going to be terms. They're going to be
May I look at the
interest
website
payments.
right now?
Alright. Again, Antimar, and again, me I go say to you again, Jim. Jamaica start collect the money already. And I'm going to prove to you.
How much?
Go on the
collected?
They collect $1 billion Jamaican dollar of money already.
Well, I have not seen that.
$1 billion of that.
When I see that panel website, Alvaro.
$1 billion of that is in the budget to finance the budget.
What
1
1
billion
billion? 1 billion how much? 1 billion US?
Team, just listen, man. An equivalent of that, the Jamaican, a part of is $3.6 billion. A conversion of 1 billion Jamaican dollars is in this year fit budget, to finance this year budget. All I turn of a redevelop Jamaica, you know?
No,
So
we would have said that. The 6.7
But that's a
billion
funny
is
World
over
Bank.
that
That's a
the
funny
year
World
period.
Bank. The
And it
World
is not
Bank.
right. And $3.2 billion out of that would go to the private sector.
No, 2.4 I got to the private sector.
Well,
3.6 I got to the government. Of the 3.6, go on a finance instructor, the part of the IMF. Finance instructor. It's right down there. The tail end. Exactly, Monty Marsha. You check that file and you see all the documentation is there. Exactly.
no, we agreed that it has been signed, but I didn't know
And I'm
that
saying
any
they
money
start
has
collecting
been
money
released
already.
specifically for
I'll
Nara.
go find the World Bank, then get the money. The rest of it, then I get it.
No. The world, remember, the
Again.
government gave, the World Bank gave the government.
Let me read it.
That's
Hold on,
website.
let me read
Be
it.
careful when you say gave. Don't say gave.
No, it was a loan. It was a loan.
Okay,
But it was
we
for
need to
balance.
be
Hold on, but
correct.
it was for
Yeah.
balance of payment. It had nothing to do with Nara.
And again, if you listen what I said, Jim, I never mentioned nothing about Nara. Of the $3.6 billion, a conversion portion of it of $1 billion Jamaican dollars is to do budgetary support. So it's not all the $3.6 billion is to develop Jamaica. Some might have to support the budget. So if you go to Ministry of Finance, a part of a loan agreement you then get, that was a part of a loan portion you then get.
So, has there any money received by Nara to date? That's what I'm asking.
No. Them Nara now go really up and run until later down in the year. Them uncle talk about project where go come under Nara, but not to start yet.
That's the question I want to ask.
Jim, I already go on the World Bank site and look on the zip file.
Me up on the World Bank site. I'm
The
not
full
gonna
file is there, you can read it.
World Bank group. The World Bank. Jamaica Secure Package. US 6.7 billion over 3 years. The World Bank. Right? Jamaica secure that. Secure a package.
Yeah, but the money is from a combined institution, It's World Bank, IMF, and probably two others.
No, man, read all of that, did the man. It tell you, man. Just scroll
It
down
tell,
that
it
part.
tell you
you say.
everything. It get 1 billion from CAF, CDB, IDB, IMF,
Caribbean Development Bank.
World Bank. But the only one I see on the website here that say Jamaica access it already is the one US 1 billion.
And what it says, for what? Yeah, Alvaro said the same thing. Look for what purpose it said that 1 billion was granted for.
Well, I never see.
The details there.
Unless a different website, but upon power.
No, man, you're on the same thing
It's
because
the
it's
same
1
thing,
billion.
man.
It should be there. The details should be there.
Yeah, it's the details I want to
In
hear
a
now.
footnote, when you see money, then give you explanation or a line item where money for.
I don't see nothing from my one. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can tell us since you're looking at it.
I don't see that. Where am I say?
No, I'm saying Alvaro can give us that detail.
We'll bring up it. We'll bring it up.
Purpose for that particular
Check
1
20.
billion.
Oh, she has me for check the budget. She has me for check the budget.
Oh, that budget is crap. You're already below your budget. You can't
No,
even
no,
collect
We
the
short
tax
of
revenue.
$20.4 billion.
No, 20. We shot
22
$125 billion.
For 20, but I'm seeing where for 2026, 2027, there's a shortfall of $20.4 billion. So
Yeah, but when the
budgetary
budget started, you shorted $103 billion between recurring expense and recurring revenue. So the amount of revenue them have is $100 billion less than what them have to finance the budget.
And remember, this is all when IMF granted 435 million US dollars after the hurricane, for the
And
same
then
budgetary
the hell
support.
disruption.
So it shows that the country is not producing.
Alright, so we could go in that part where say,
Yeah, the details are the 1 billion US.
alright. That is the mobilization.
And you see, the government there likes to be an ostrich, put their head in the sand, so they don't care about what's going on with
Alright,
Iran.
so the part where say, the World Bank up to $1 billion in sovereignty finance, including budgetary support and partial risk guarantee and investment project. So a part of the $1 billion US already gone to support the budget. So
Well, what you're telling me now has nothing to do with Nara's 6.7 billion. Those are
never
different
say
funds.
anything. Well, I'm not Jim again. I never mentioned nothing about Nara.
But that's my point. That's my point, man. What we and Turkey were saying.
Listen what I said. I never mentioned nothing about Nara. I said the $6.7 billion of the 3.6 billion, not all of it is to develop Jamaica. Some of it is for budgetary support. More so, up to the 1 billion they got from World Bank, some of it is for budgetary support, which they already got and it's in the budget already. But even though they get that, it's still not sufficient to finance the budget.
Well, that's the point I was making this week,
But Alvaro, one minute.
I want to make a very important
Hold on,
point.
Jim, hold on. Let me ask Alvaro something about that, because me still a look on the website. I'm going to really see what me get
Look on the part that say World Bank $1 billion, what you say now?
Alright.
Note.
Alright. Go ahead now, Jim.
Yes, so the government doesn't have enough money to operate. But these international lending agency, right, in its agreement, wouldn't they specify the purpose and use for the monies that they are going to give?
Yeah, but alright, so let me read again. So Alvaro, the all of the money still gonna be for the budget. It says up to US $1 billion in sovereign finance, including budget support, partial risk guarantee, and investment project in critical sector. So all of that the money. No, but you said the 1 billion. No, Alvaro.
No, I never said that. I said a part of the $1 billion, the government already get it for budgetary support. A part of.
Not all, right? Alvaro said that, yeah.
Okay, a
You
part
know
of.
what
Sorry.
I'm hearing?
Sorry.
Nara doesn't have any money to operate.
But
Yeah.
Jim, we could be fair and honest now.
Well, you said no about for Marcia. You said no with what? No, but that's what I'm reading.
We could speak to.
No, what I'm reading. Hold on 1 minute, Marcia. What I'm reading is World Bank up to US $1 billion in sovereign financing, including budget support, partial risk guarantees, and investment project in critical sectors.
That did it.
Yeah.
So we could come back to this.
And I just want to add, hold on, Alvaro, when they said financing, that's borrowed money. I just want to tell people this, because I want people to understand. This is not free money. When they say financing.
Remember, Nara is a constituted authority of Parliament. A Parliament, if you approve the projects, then give Nara. That's how you will agreement of work. That's how your agreement work, So as Parliament approve the project, them Nara execute them and ensure say from start to finish the project done and nothing wrong no go on. And them manage the project.
So in other words, there is no set budget for Nara.
No, they're not going to set budget.
They won't have a set one, Jim. I'm sorry.
Nara not going to budget.
You're right,
Pilot.
Agreed.
Nara going to say they have $1 billion to build.
Oh, I just said that. All right, Diane.
Nara not going to budget.
All right,
Nara
Jesse.
The government doesn't have any money to fund Nara. If the government is having balance of payment deficit by a wide gap, where is it going to get money from to put into Nara?
Jim, let me ask one question. If the $6.7 billion agreement states that, two things. $3.6 billion of government finance. That's why government are borrow, government loan. The next 2.4 is based on private sector appetite with government initiative, PPP partnership that. Now,
Yeah.
make we go now. So if the government and the private sector don't identify project them yet for the 2.4 billion, when Nara need to do, when Nara need to get the money to do what with it. It's in the bank account to do what with it. And they don't identify project yet.
So let me put this simply.
Yeah, that's a good point, Alvaro. Good
So
point.
Jim, what NARA would have to do is to come up with a plan to say, okay, I'm going to use this as a simple example. We want to build this road from Kingston all the way to Montego Bay, a highway, and bypassing the toll road because
No, hold on, Fred. Let me give you a better example. Let me use the CAF funds up to $1 billion for priority areas identified by the government of Jamaica. So if the government not identify the project, how Nara got to give them the money to do with it?
yeah.
What do you want to take the money to do with it? And then identify project. The Prime Minister identify one.
He
He
identifies
one school over, you know, build one STEM school.
No,
And he go borrow a loan for build it.
Alvaro, he said Nara go fix one tank somewhere down at Westmoreland.
No, but hold on, Nara can't fix the tank with truth. But what people if you understand, the money, if you fix the tank, the Prime Minister have that money already. Because it is in the it's a part of the capital budget.
Capital budget, yeah, that's
And
yeah.
the money where am I going to borrow?
And it have fix Mona Reservoir to the Nara go fix Mona Reservoir.
Well, if you have the money to do it, me know some of the things that when say, I when promising can't do it. Me know that thing can't do it.
Right. So Nara, no, Alvaro, I was just going to say, Nara has to come up with the various plans of what they're going to do and then present it to these multilaterals for the private sector, if they have appetite.
Alright,
for
make a look
them
on
to
this,
invest
make a look on the CDF funds. US 200 million in financing priority areas identified by the government. You know, they say each one of the money is identified by the government.
Identified,
so if
yeah.
the government not identify the project, we have to put money in Nara for doing it.
You got it.
Or you get that one and the document 20 Marshall tell you about. It is in 3 phases: identification, implementation, and execution. You can go read it. So if you don't identify a project, how you going to implement the project? How you
Right.
going to execute it without the money?
And you're not going to get monies.
You can't get the people the money.
Right.
If you don't identify a project.
And
So
Jim,
we can say, Nara just sit there and not do nothing. When the government sit there and not going to parliament to approve this project and start the parliament conversation between them and the opposition.
So why pass NARA into law? Because if a NARA is an act, so it should be
Alright, Jim,
autonomous.
Alright, let me say this to you again, Jim. And the same financial agreement, it also states that you have to have a body to manage the funds, which will be NARA. Anti-Marshall can confirm. It's already stated that you must have one body. So then, I go to our Ministry of Finance to give you the money, but National Work Agency send the word of it. No, they don't want it like that.
So are you
They want to
saying that these international lending agencies would have asked for a body separately from UDC,
Yes, Jim.
the traditional construction arms of government, you know?
And in that document that Marshall is telling you to find on the website, it requires NARA.
No,
NARA
I
is the minimum.
disagree with you on that, sir. Big NARA
I don't think Jim,
is the
you don't
brainchild of the
disagree with me
Prime
on the
Minister.
document.
NARA is the brainchild of the Prime Minister. The International Lending Agency did not tell the government to go and form a new institution to accept these funds when they would have
Jim,
similar institutions.
you want to
in place.
contest
no,
that?
Jim, no,
Jim,
Jim, no.
No, you're not say Jim,
you
right?
want to
Jim,
contest me
right?
on that?
No. Them not really tell himself to go start no new nothing. Not him do it because he don't want too much people.
And I'm saying a part of the agreement is that you have to have an agency to manage the fund. That already
Yeah,
got
but
to be
you
done.
have more already. You have Urban
No,
Development
but
Corporation
Jim,
and I
hold
think you have
on,
another place.
Jim.
Him never
that
need
does
no
not do
Nara.
anything.
Him not need no Nara.
No, hold on, guys. We got to be practical about this, right? everyone knows internationally doing business in Jamaica goes through a whole bunch of red tape. It's a lot of bureaucracy. So if these private companies, because this is now dealing with private companies like my bank, other banks, to potentially maybe lend money to you guys, right? They don't want to deal with the bureaucracy. So something needs to be in place that they don't need to deal with this bureaucracy. But on that end, if, say, like a place like my bank is going to invest.
But all of that, the Prime Minister saying
Hold
a
on.
Fergie.
If they're going to invest in monies in you guys, you're going to have to give me a return. I'm not going to put money, I'm not going to give you a billion US dollars and I get nothing in return. I have to get something in return. Everything is for a
Fergie,
return.
me don't know if me agree with you 100% with maybe the Nara thing.
He needs the money. He needs the money to develop the country. That's what he said. And in order for him to get the monies, you have to cut this bureaucracy of Jamaica. I'm sorry, that is how it works. You got to cut it. You have a ton of bureaucracy. I have to go to NEPA. I have to go to Ministry of Health. I have to go to this ministry. I have to go to that ministry. I have to get permits over
But
here, permits over
the
there.
way
No,
the way Nara is set up in a right need.
He can bypass all of that. He can bypass all of that.
And another part about it also too is that you don't need, you don't have no body, it's just him and the CEO.
That's right. So basically, he's becoming a corporate bank without being a corporate bank.
So who monitor the spending? And when after them done spending, then them are go come
No
discuss.
one, just him, just him.
Then that right?
So
Me not understand this a foolishness.
So the international lending agencies did not require the government to institute NARA.
No,
right?
no, because that's right, Jim.
No, that right.
Well,
Never
probably.
at all.
Well, hold on.
But
Not on
what,
paper,
what,
Jim.
what,
Not on
what
paper,
it
Jim.
wanted, what the international lending agency wanted was to bypass bureaucratic bundling, meaning that the same thing. Were you the one mentioning Fergie?
That's
Yep,
right,
yep,
Keith.
the bureaucratic
About him
bypass.
only.
Yes,
But
yes.
Existing
nah.
entities. Yeah, but NARA wasn't a prerequisite for the loan.
Right,
Never
it's
ever.
not.
Right.
Jim, you're absolutely right.
That's what we're
NARA
saying.
was not a prerequisite. The government decided that they would institute this act in order to help them have access to these
Oh,
funds.
very good for Jana. I said, oh, we don't know what going to be the interest rate.
Right, that's the other thing. That's why I keep telling you, Auntie Jen, they signed this thing, but if they signed it, you're gonna know the interest rates. You're supposed to know the terms.
Well,
Everything
Flavor,
comes with
let's say
terms.
about 6%.
I don't know. Who knows? It could be more than that. Again, Jamaica has no commodities that the world needs and wants. If you guys had oil, that'd be very different. If you had natural gas, very different. If you had rare earth minerals, you guys would be clear and free. Good. You guys don't have that. You have zero.
Well, to be truthful, I think that this NARA is just a cash cow for more corruption
So,
because
I mean, I agree.
the National Works Agency is there, Urban Development Corporation, National Water Commission, National Housing Trust. All these institutions could have taken on the projects.
Okay,
So I
Jim,
don't know
thank
why
you.
they have put in NARA. This was to give the Prime Minister exclusive control of our resources.
Right. On borrowed monies. FYI, I have to put this into context. These are borrowed monies. So you guys will have to pay these monies back. Whatever NARA turns around and identifies as projects that they want to institute and they're going to borrow these monies, you guys will have to pay them back. It's not free money. You guys are getting no free money. I think Mark Golding laid it out when the budget speech happened with the Minister of Finance. out of all of these billions of US dollars that was promised, how much were grants? And I think she said like what, 38 million were grants?
Because let me tell you something, all these established institutions that the government bypassed to use NARA would have to contact back these same agencies in order to carry out its projects.
But the CEO can override them. That's
Yeah,
the
the
whole
CEO.
power of it.
Let's say Napa
But what
say
I'm
you
saying,
can't
they
fix
have
it.
specialized skills and facilities that
I
NARA
know.
would need.
I know. But if they disagree, so say
Oh,
for
I get.
example, I'm not saying my bank. Say me as a bank. I'm lending you money, right, Jim? And I'm gonna say, Jim, I'm gonna lend you 100 million US. You said you identified this project, you needed to go through. You come to me and you said, oh, I gotta go to NEPA. Oh, I have to go to Water Commission. Oh, I have to go to these 5 other freaking agencies.
Yeah, I know
to
that,
get
Fergie.
approval.
No, Fergie.
And
The
I
question
turn
I
to
want
you.
to
No,
ask
hold
you-
on, Jim. And I'm going to turn to you and say, this is BS. I'm not going to spend I'm not going to invest 100 million. And I have to go through all of this. Screw that. So you, in turn, and I'm suspecting, I don't know, I'm suspecting the government decided, you know what? Let's just create an agency that for these monies, that we can bypass all these things for these developments.
But that's
'Cause
why.
if you
Hold
look-
on, Fergie. Hold on, Jim.
I
That's
don't-
why. Hold on, Jim. That's why Mark Golden said him go watch first before they go to the court.
Right.
Because they know say Andrew go fall in a problem. Because let's say you override NAPA, and then now environmental issues come in play. You carry him to court.
Yep.
Well, the act, the NARA Act itself, is in breach of environmental laws in Jamaica.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly, Jim.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
But Fergie, do you think that NARA has the capacity to subsume or undertake the work of all these entities like National Water Commission, Urban Development Corporation, National Works Agency, and NHD?
I
They
don't-
have that capacity.
You don't know.
in
So
my,
how will they be able to subsume all these organizations and make
you know what?
it done in one?
You know what, Jim? In my belief, they don't. That's just me personally. However, what I feel will happen is that they're going to bring in all these non-Jamaicans, right, to do the work. Because remember, you have the other side where I forgot what is her ministry? Efficiency, digital, whatever.
That's
Digital
That she-
transformation and efficiency.
Right,
Yeah.
that she came to the U.S. looking for U.S. skilled workers to
No,
come
we
and work
don't
in
believe
Jamaica.
that part, Fergie. We don't believe that part. The diplomatic cable did not say anything about skilled labor.
That
It
is
says TCN.
I'm going after what she said. This is what she said out of her mouth.
The minister would have concocted a story 3 weeks after the cleaner broke the diplomatic note.
I'm just going, Jim, I'm going after what she said. That she came here looking for skilled workers. Now, FYI, the skilled workers in the U.S. are not working your minimum wage. They would be making more than your own prime minister, okay? That's all I have to say. So, NARA would more than likely bypass the skilled workers of the country to bring in these other people to do those projects and to do that work, bypassing the laws of the country. Now, this is where the opposition or other entities can then turn around and potentially have a suit against NARA because they're now in violation of our
And that
constitution.
will happen. And that will happen to them. And the PMP want them and they not listen. That's why Mark said him not can't carry them because they do not need for you carry them a court.
Right, you
Yeah.
gotta wait.
You have to wait. And them know that
also,
too, you know, so them are gonna be very careful what they do, you know, because they know if PNP will carry them a code.
when Nara was tabled, it was not done with Jamrock included in the act.
Exactly, Jim.
So
exactly.
Jamrock has no real power and authority
No.
to supervise and provide penalty for people who are operating within NARA.
Right. And if you
So
read
it is an oversight body that is not enacted into the NARA Act.
correct.
So it means it is a body without clause. It is a powerless body. Did the Prime Minister deliberately do that so that he can have full control as head of the executive?
More than, I don't know, in my opinion, I'm going to say probably yes, because this was his way to potentially entice the multilateral in the private sector mainly, not the public, not like, you know, countries, sovereign funds, but private funds, to potentially get private funds into the country through NARA.
I don't like the fact that the oversight body is not enacted into NARA. That is a very risky thing. Because if NARA is going to oversee billions of dollars, why is it that the oversight body is not protected under the Act?
Right. And this is billions of dollars that are borrowed.
Exactly.
So-
Jamaica has nothing. Fergie, listen, the country is in a recession. If you calculate all the numbers from BOJ and the Ministry of Finance, 2 negative quarters. The country
It's
is
a
in a
recession.
recession.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 negative
Right?
quarters.
And the government is not telling us, you know.
No.
The country is not producing any money, it's producing dirt. Then tell
Right.
me something. If Jamaica was a liquid economic country, you think that you would have so many politicians being accused of illicit enrichment? Wouldn't they be involved in legitimate businesses? We
Right.
saw where a banker tried this 5-in-4 plan, being the head of the Economic Growth Council, and he scrapped it. He left.
Yep.
In other words, the ground is not fertile for that to happen in Jamaica. And then afterward, we heard that same banker facilitated SSL to move hundreds of millions into a certain politician's pocket. So instead of engaging in legal economic activities in the country, politicians and bankers have operated in a clandestine and intricate manner to steal public funds because economic viability doesn't exist in Jamaica.
Right. But the thing is, you know what? That's not new to Jamaica, and it's not only Jamaica. That philosophy, I agree with you, Jim. Totally. That goes with every economy across the globe. However, the problem is that Jamaica's laws, right, in terms of prosecution of these acts, are not swift enough. So, for example, the PM likes to bring up Singapore, right? We're trying to make Jamaica the next Singapore. Jamaica will never be the next Singapore, right? Just based on our values, just based on how we operate.
Our justice system, yeah.
I was just getting there. Our justice system, because in Singapore, you will be prosecuted within a year.
But not only that, Fergie, the kinds of monies that were running through the Prime Minister's account and all the luxurious properties that he would have acquired and not giving an explanation of the true source of his wealth. Do you understand the gravity of crime that would have caused in Singapore?
Oh yes.
Let me tell you something. Do you know that would attract the death penalty in Singapore as a trusted servant?
Yes.
Yes.
In America, you're looking like 30 years imprisonment and all your cash and assets confiscated.
We
and
do
all
that in the US
beneficiaries,
with
family
private
members
citizens.
would be hunted
Yep.
down.
We do
for
that with
every
private
single
citizens.
dollar.
Yep. We do that with private citizens here. Look at Bernie Madoff.
Yes.
Okay, prime example. Very quick. They went in, they shut down his business, everything, put him in jail, and he stayed in jail. He wasn't even granted bail. You stayed in jail, they quickly prosecuted him, and he got his sentence, and unfortunately, poor thing, unalive. But yeah, it was very quick, even in the U.S.
Yeah,
It's
you
very
know
quick.
his son committed suicide also.
Right. So Jamaica does not have those laws to really effect that kind of change. Because if you have those laws, having the PM take his own government, the IC, to court to validate his statutory declarations
Yes.
that he refused to provide proof for, that in of itself would be a crime in like Singapore. Or
But
even in
even-
the US. Even
Mhm.
I won't even say Singapore. Even in the United States, that would be a crime.
Can you imagine the Prime Minister putting his wife as the head of Parliament, the head of the legislature? That doesn't even happen in autocratic countries like China, Russia, and Singapore and
No.
other places.
We are calling them
No.
the name for them. The name you're crazy.
Now you understand why the opposition is not getting a fair chance to participate in the activities of Parliament.
But
Right.
Them are
And you
stand-
see the danger of doing that? A clear conflict. And
Right.
he still pursued that path, knowing that, but guess what? It was deliberately done to derail our democratic process.
Right. And you see, the thing is, like, you put your spouse in the leader of the government business, right? So, say in America or say Singapore, you know, if you are implicated, that spouse will be implicated as well.
Exactly.
The two of you would be implicated. Like, it wouldn't just be, I'm just gonna separate myself from my spouse. I don't know what he was doing
I
or
agree
she
with you.
was doing. I'm over here by myself. No. You're both implicated. You're both going down.
I agree with you, man. The Prime Minister's wife should be equally under the same pressure from the Integrity Commission.
Exactly.
If there is any pressure, because really and truly, the Prime Minister is not too concerned about the Integrity Commission, you know. Only you and I are concerned. The Prime Minister thinks he has superpowers to reign supreme and dismantle any institution that is not in line with his accord.
Right. And so think about it. So with this NARA Act, because it's supposed to be the most powerful thing ever, right? Where the CEO has this power, and if the CEO wants to do a project and an agency denies that project because of irregularities or it does not meet our standards, it can go to the minister. And who's that minister in charge of that NARA?
The Prime Minister.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And
but,
gue-
but
And guess who has override powers over those agencies when it comes to NARA?
It would be the Prime Minister.
Okay. That's all I gotta say.
But what I know about law is that if a law conflicts with the other law or on the Constitution, then there will be challenges to
Ah, there you go. There you go.
But I guess he didn't care. He just want to ram through the bill as quickly as possible and pass it into law.
Right. And again, obviously he's not concerned about the Constitution because he lost a case with the Bengal case, right? Where they distinctly said, you are not following the Constitution of this country.
Yes.
And he can't change it because if he wants to change the Constitution, you're going to need the opposition. You definitely will need the opposition at this point.
Yeah.
You don't have that much power. So NARA is supposed to try and bring, what did he say the other day? It was a FIFA. You have to think big and think bold, right? You have to think big. So he's trying to encourage I won't say dissuade the Jamaican people, but encourage the Jamaican population there to think big and bold. So NARA, you know, they're going to try and do whatever projects they're going to do, borrow monies, and try and bypass, if they can, the relevant agencies to get these things done. And if an agency turns around and say, we don't think that's right that you put, you know, the structure there because we know for a fact this area is not so stable, you're going to have problems, or you may need to build more infrastructure there to uphold the structure, he can bypass that. Because he wants the monies. Again, it's borrowed monies. So Jim, this is not monies for free. I hope the Jamaican population understands this, but these are not monies for free. These are monies that would be borrowed that the taxpayers of that nation will have to pay back.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I think one of the main reasons the government wants to blame the opposition for slowing down the NARA projects is because the government knows that it doesn't have the money to fund NARA, and NARA is just a
Him know that, man. Him know that.
any viability.
Yeah, it doesn't have the money, Jim. NARA is banking on, so what they're going to have to do, right? In my opinion, they're going to have to identify projects, right? How many projects, and they're going to have to show that these projects are going to be profitable. So say a bank like mine, before we help to fund that project through loans, we have to know how we're going to get our monies back. Profitable, right? Not just our monies, we got to get our monies and our interest. So I need to know how you put this road in, what is this road going to do for me? What is this road? You could tell me that it's going to help the population, but how is that going to equate to me getting my monies back with interest? So it has to be something that's profitable to the international community. And again, with him having this cloud over his head, he has to be very careful, because if you have this cloud over your head, the international community will put sort of a red flag on him to say, we can't do business with him.
Anyway,
he has issues.
I'm going to close up now. I can't. So I'm not going to Brata tonight. 1 full hour more.
This is good, Auntie Jan. We got to bring Jim up more.
And behave yourself tonight, though.
No, I did, but let me tell you something.
Jim is good.
You have to understand me, Auntie Jen. I'm a human. I believe in human rights, So I didn't appreciate. I know that Desmond McKenzie is supportive of a brutal regime. I am cognizant of that, right? I know that he stood strongly with the Prime Minister in giving the police instruction to eliminate our people, right? I know that. But I didn't like the fact that the police would have discharged pepper spray in a crowded area and it was not warranted. Because if it is that someone was running from the police after making spurious comments, then I don't think that warranted the use of a pepper spray. You were saying that nothing. I think you ignore the fact that it was dangerous to just discharge pepper spray like that. So that was the issue.
But the police always the police pepper spray other people, so what difference of Desmond?
I am concerned about anybody who is abused by the police. Anybody at all.
But I think, Jim, I will admit, I laugh. I think it was one night I called in and I laughed so hard with him getting pepper sprayed. I think the fact was he was very vocal that they shouldn't have body cameras, and he agreed exactly with what the police was doing.
Yeah.
So it was just irony at its best.
So I didn't disrespected Antigen. I think that's where we separated. And you know, I basically was saying, well, Antigen, you're insensitive, you know, that's the kind of term. It wasn't any disrespect. But
I think if, say for example, Jim, if it was like me or Auntie Jen or you got pepper sprayed, like, yeah, we'd be like, oh my God, you just pepper sprayed this person for no reason. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. No,
but the mere fact it was him, and he was he stood up in Parliament and was quite emphatic.
Of course. I know that Desmond McKenzie is a rough figure, you know? That guy is rough, he's mean, he's rude, he's nasty, you know? But you know that in that melee, I thought of the lady who ran behind him more than even the minister himself.
Right, because they were pepper spray everyone.
Yeah, so
Let me tell you something.
And then the thing is, Jim,
Let me tell you something. Them the
I
people
know
down
that
there. Hold on now.
constituency.
You see them people down there, sir? Them there not behave good.
Yeah, that constituency.
Me not ask
it's a
Jesus
rough one.
Christ if them did not behave good. Me, I tell you, so they not be. Me not for did if I tell you. Me know them.
I know them. Yeah, they're not. They're pretty rough.
You know, Fergie and Antigen, when I look at Nara and see that the Prime Minister has control, right? And then he still has to work with the Ministry of Finance and Public Service. So is it really good for a Prime Minister to have this kind of executive authority over Nara when a ministry in that of the Finance Ministry could have been the one to have direct communication and support?
Well, I think the issue is that I don't think there's confidence in the Minister of Finance, because, you know, after Melissa, it was stated that it was the Prime Minister who was able to secure.
But if the Prime Minister has to have direct communication with Ministry of Finance and Public Service in order to do the allocation, then why the Prime Minister puts himself in that?
He basically is controlling it. He doesn't have
How much minister Andrew run in our government?
Several.
All right.
Probably
That's a whole bunch.
and several agencies, probably 20 of the agencies. Remember the last one he took was the office, was the ODPM.
Yeah, OPM, yeah.
Remember,
And
so what that tell
would
you?
be the one that got the $1.44 billion.
So what that tell
And
you?
nothing has been given to the people of Jamaica.
The man
That money was not put in the consolidated fund, you know.
The man
It was
one order,
given
the man
to
around the
Akem.
country and the brother. One order. One order the man around the country, you know, and him I done.
Yes, but in closing, I support the position of Paul Buchanan because he has a strong precedent, a strong case law in Andrew Holness versus Warren Blake, 1997, right?
Yeah.
And it's a good win for the Integrity Commission in terms of giving confidence in the independent anti-corruption body.
Yeah.
But I must say that the Prime Minister rules supreme, and I don't see any of these results causing the Prime Minister to lose power or being prosecuted, because the case with Paul Buchanan will be delayed for many years. By that time, the Prime Minister will complete his election cycle.
Yeah.
And the Integrity Commission has no power. If the Director of Public Prosecution doesn't institute criminal charges against the Prime Minister and activate the Proceeds of Crimes Act to confiscate his assets and cash, then nothing will change. And we have determined already that the people of Jamaica are divided. So it's not that people are going to come out in humongous numbers,
Yeah.
overwhelmingly,
God bless
to
you.
send a powerful message to the government. That's not going to happen because the people are divided. So where that leaves us, I guess it leaves us into another election, which is 4 years from now. That's a long, long time to tolerate unruliness.
You believe in miracles?
No, not really.
All right, so me believe in a miracle that sometimes some things happen different from how we project it. And sometimes the turns of event we never expect it because we look on it one way. I think something are gonna happen that change the whole. Cause see the man them plan to come out September, the whole them are gonna lock down the taxi man, them really get serious. Them are organize I think it's a 2-day, no movements.
Okay, that is good.
And that will be a great significant.
Very good.
Very, very good.
Even the protest in Crossroad the other day, and the 3 pillars that they protested about.
I agree with the right
was Andrew Wheatley to be held accountable, to release Melissa, Hurricane Melissa Relief Fund, and the TCN. You know that it was picked up in international print media.
Yeah, I did really go and support that one too.
So these things are good, and we have to hold the government accountable. And I think your platform is ideal towards that cause.
Yeah.
And other issues too.
Thank you. Fergie.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You know
with
you want me
Jim.
sit down up here with you all. You don't say that sit down up with me all night, Fergie.
I know. This is late for you. Whoa.
Yeah.
This is so late for you. Oh
You
my
know
God.
why? Tomorrow is an holiday in Jamaica and I'm not coming on.
Oh yes.
And I'm not coming
Yeah,
on in the
and
morning. I'm not coming on live tomorrow morning either.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tomorrow actually will make it 45 years since I've been living in America.
Oh,
And to the day, actually. Yeah, it was a Saturday that we left Jamaica, August 1.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I agree with Jim. The only thing I would add, though, is that they have to be careful, meaning they, as in the government and the institutions of the country, because the international markets will be watching you.
Them a watch
They're
man.
not going to lend you monies just like that for you to be willy-nilly with. Not especially when we're in this geopolitical crisis that we're having. In the U.S., it's tough. We're going down a tough path right now. It is getting tough. So if the U.S. is getting tough, take it from me, the rest of the globe, they're getting tough. Because this Iran-U.S. war is not looking good for anyone. So everyone will be tightening their pockets.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
So with them tightening their pockets, they're going to look at the country to see, well, is corruption good or bad in Jamaica? Do we see corruption? Do we see issues? If there's any doubt, you're not getting certain institutions to invest in that country. They're not going to lend. They're not going to do anything. So that will be one part. And I don't think the people in government or in the institutions there realize that, right? Again, like I said, a promise is a comfort to a fool. They may have promised you right after Melissa, but when the dust settles and the pen goes to the paper, it's very different. They have very different terms, very different regards. Again, the country does not produce anything that the rest of the globe is running towards. So that's the only thing I would add. I agree with Jim, though. I agree. I think the PM has the money, the powers to take this to the utmost, to fight it till whenever is the next election.
Yeah.
So he very well could run out his term.
Gloria, good night. Gloria? It looks like she got sleep. She never knows that She don't even know so she in the bus. Anyway, this is where we're going to leave the program for tonight. It was intriguing. I really appreciate each and every one that join in and contribute. And I hope your rest of your night will be great. Have yourself a great night. And until we meet again, I am your girl, Auntie Jen. Good night. Bye.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Good night, everybody who stay on for the duration. Enough love. Good night. God is good. Oh, come on now, you just a reach. When me I go on my bed now. Good night. Tomorrow, if anything. Bye. Enough love. Over. Over YouTube. Having yourself a great night. Thanks for staying on with me and be my company. Catch you the next time. Love you.